Good morning, testing. Good morning, testing, testing, testing.
Hey, buddy, you want to take...
Good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. Let me tell you a little bit of how this show is going to work today. Last night we're gonna take 15 minutes and do some national news. But at 8:15, so this way, if you want to, you can follow us on Twitter at FetcherNews at FYNTV. Now leave the phone number up there just a minute, Sam, because I want to explain something. Last night at Blue Ridge City Council, we're going to do a full report on that with video, okay, between something that broke out, a verbal fight between Councilwoman Arp and Thomas and Councilwoman Angie Arp. We're gonna detail what took place there. We have the video for it. So if you want to share that with friends, we're live on Facebook, we're live on FYNTV Fetcher News YouTube, we're live on FYNTV.com. So we're going to give you 15 minutes to share with your friends that report is going to be at 8:15. We're going to do about a 35-minute report on that. We're going to show you the video from last night of this argument, okay? So you have plenty of time, 15 minutes to get that ready. Now, in the next 15 minutes, I want to ask you a question, and I want you to do two things for me. And this is serious. I want you to do two things for me. If I asked you if you want to take this outside, if we're sitting here and I make a hand gesture and I say, you want to take this outside, tell me what you think that implies or means. 706-889-9700. Text that to me. Seriously, I want to know from you. 706-889-9700. I want you to text me what you think that means, or email me at chief@fetchernews.com. The question is, if I said to you and made a hand gesture, do you want to take this outside? What does that mean, or what does that imply to you? Send that to me. So that's at 8:15. Now, we have done, we came in real early, and I had Sam do a quick rendition of, an artist rendition of what took place last night, try to set it up. And do you have that little thing that we put together?
Hey, buddy, you want to take... What a lovely evening!
This was a really good idea!
Take this outside?
Sure!
Wow, what a lovely evening!
This was a really good idea!
Okay. What do you think? So do you want to take this outside? What's that mean to you? Okay, before we get to our 8:15, we're going to get serious and we're going to do that story. Before we get to that, the President of the United States has been on Twitter this morning, 34 minutes ago, 50 minutes ago, an hour ago, 21 hours ago. Jobs, jobs, jobs. The President is leaving to go to Detroit today to try to sell the health care package and the new health care package that Republicans are putting out there. Great optimism in America, and the results will be even better. That's from Bloomberg News. He posted that. An hour ago, does anyone really believe that a reporter who nobody ever heard of, does anybody really believe a reporter who nobody ever heard of went to the mailbox and found my tax returns? NBC News, fake news, okay? Can you imagine what the outcry would be if Snoop Dogg? Now, I'm going to tell you something. You never can pass a day up when the President of the United States throws out Snoop Dogg in a tweet. It just doesn't, I mean, Snoop Dogg, it's priceless, I'm telling you. Can you imagine the outcry, what the outcry would be if Snoop Dogg, failing career and all, had admitted and fired the gun at President Obama, jail time, okay? So would you imagine if Snoop Dogg would have, now he's talking about Snoop Dogg, gin and juice, you know, gin and juice, Snoop Dogg, you know, sorry I even know that reference, but anyhow, could you imagine Snoop Dogg doing a parody of him shooting President Obama like he did with Donald Trump? We have time to go into that. All the outcry of what would happen to him. This is 52 minutes ago. We'll be going to Detroit, Michigan, Love, today for a big meeting on bringing back car production. Now they're going to roll back some EPA on the 50 mile per gallon requirements that the Obama administration put on the auto manufacturers, the 50 mile per gallon. They're going to be rolling some of these things that are holding up these regulations, auto manufacturers. So that's going to be rolling back. Big meeting on bringing back car production to the state and U.S. already happening. Let's go with 37 minutes ago. Looking forward to a big rally in Nashville, Tennessee tonight. Big crowd for great people. Big crowd of great people expected. So they're going to be in Nashville tonight. So you never get past up a day when the President of the United States puts out Snoop Dogg in a tweet. Okay, Trump earned $153 million. Now MSNBC, which I want to know, I put the question out, do you feel that the Russian relationship, Donald Trump's Russian relationship, the media will not stop, preferably MSNBC, and the tax return issue, those two issues, is that the left's birther movement? Is that equivalent to the birther movement? I mean, are they just so far out there they're not going to stop? Trump earned $153 million, paid $36 million in taxes in 2005. Remember, this is a corporation, okay? Much like GE. Remember when Jeffrey Emmel of GE from Connecticut, actually GE paid zero tax, but he sat next to the President of the United States? I don't remember people taking him to task quite the same way, but they have to see President Donald Trump's tax returns. Now, today they're going to make a big deal, a very big deal over the wiretapping and how the President of the United States has not provided proof that Trump Tower was tapped during the transition or even the campaign They're going to make a big deal that he's provided no evidence. That's all you keep hearing about. Folks, let me tell you something. When somebody from the IRS steals your tax return and gives it to someone else, that is a crime. So let me see. Would they go as far as committing a crime? Maybe they would. Donald Trump's tax return from 2005 shows up in Rachel Maddow's hands. Rachel's not a bad guy. Okay, Trump earned $153 million and paid $36 million in taxes in 2005. President Donald Trump earned $153 in 2005, paying roughly 25%. Let's see. 25% is higher than Mitt Romney, Barack Obama, the socialist Bernie Sanders. The list goes on. The guy's a business. I want to ask a question before we get to our city council story this morning. Did you see in 8 solid years the Iranian-born, let's not forget, the Muslim Iranian-born Valerie Jarrett, whether you like that or not, okay, all right? Did you see any kind of stories on Valerie Jarrett like Steve Bannon? Okay, did you see stories for 8 years on how, investigations on how Valerie Jarrett was moving Barack Obama to the left, how Valerie Jarrett was getting her way in the Iranian deal, how Valerie Jarrett was actually pulling the strings and making the decisions for Barack Obama? No, Valerie Jarrett was there every single day for 8 years. Where's Valerie Jarrett now? Oh, she moved into the house down the street with the Obamas. She's still there. And let me tell you, she's not doing laundry. Just saying. Every day, Steve Bannon. Who's behind Trump? Steve Bannon. What is the background on Steve Bannon? What about Steve Bannon's dad? What about his military career? Every single day, it's Trump has Steve Bannon and something about Bannon, and we need to get to the bottom of Steve Bannon. We did not do that with Valerie Jarrett. I'm just asking the rest of the media outlets, why don't you take a minute and try to see about Valerie Jarrett? Well, that's yesterday's news, right? They're gone. Or are they really gone? This morning, I'm watching MSNBC. It's driving them nuts that they have 2 pages of Donald Trump's tax return and he paid taxes. Driving them crazy that he paid $25 million in taxes. Because they said this morning in an hour that they spent, this only leads them to realize they need to see more. This only says there's so much we have not seen. Really? What about when Hillary Clinton was going around yelling at podiums that Donald Trump did not pay taxes for 15 years? Huh. Wonder if we're waiting for that apology. No! Will the President of the United States apologize to Barack Obama for his claims that he didn't, that he tapped Trump, wiretapped Trump Tower? Will he apologize? Will he apologize? I don't know. Let's see how many are going to apologize to Donald Trump today because he did pay taxes. He didn't pay taxes. How many? Okay. So, just saying. Let me tell you a couple things that are not in the news right now. It's March 15th. What's that mean? The debt ceiling. Bottom line, watch today what happens where the debt ceiling is concerned. That's number 2, interest rates. Interest rates going up today. Okay? Interest rates going to cool things down maybe a little bit. Maybe increase the rate that we have to pay on the national debt. Just saying. Interest rates, debt ceiling today. Now, many people are talking about it. 2 things. I'm talking about the 6. We're going to get ready to go our break. I've promised 8:15. We'll go to the break in just a minute. Last night, there was a 3-2 vote for alcohol in McCaysville, Georgia, down on the river. I'm going to bring that up at 9:30. At 9:30, I'm going to make a special comment on the 3-2 vote for alcohol in McCaysville, Georgia. that happened last night. The 3-2 vote to approve. What was the 3-2 vote? To approve. I'm going to go into that a little later. What's on the top of the New York Times? Nervous GOP senators call for changes in health care bill. A message from Turkey, a nation under pressure. Okay, Trump paid tax rate of 25% in 2005 after huge write-offs. You see, Rachel Maddow and all these people show up at NBC, MSNBC, CNN. They have zero concern on whether the corporation is making money. That's not their job. Okay? But let me tell you something. The Rachel Maddow, all of these people on these TV shows and news networks, sport athletes, they all have managers and contracts that defer taxes the best they can. If you go really dig deep on all of these people, you will find them with their own sole corporation set up in states probably that defers taxes where they don't have to pay the same tax rate as New York. So see how many of them that actually work in New York, their corporation, or they get their paycheck there, and things like that. You have athletes, you have performers, you have shows that will not do or have to pay higher taxes when they perform in certain states, and these people cannot stand that. They do everything to avoid those higher taxes. But Trump is actually running a business, and it drives them nuts. Look, the 6th Congressional District, they're pouring money in there. This is ground zero for Republicans, and you better listen. I keep yelling this day after day. Damn it, this is ground zero for Republicans. The 6th District of the 6th Congressional District. They're pouring the money in. Put that graph up there. Put that up for me there. Now, not that one. Yeah, I'll get it there in a second. Okay, there it is. Now, I don't know if you can see this at home, but I'm going to tell you what this is, and I promise. The Democrat whip, there's 5 Democrats in the race, but the Democrats are pouring money into this. This is a fundraiser from Steny Hoyer, okay, James Clyburn, the Democrat caucus vice chairwoman, Linda Sanchez, the DCCC chairman, Congressman Sanford Bishop, Congressman Hank Johnson, Congressman John Lewis, Congressman David Scott invite you to support the Georgia 6th special election, April 18th primary and June 20th runoff. John Ossoff. See, they have 5. You don't see this from the Republicans. It was even called out by Ron Slotin, one of the Democrat candidates. Hey, DCCC, DNC, Daily Cost, there's 5 Democrat candidates. No, they don't care. The machine has not stopped. Perez, there's nothing new about the DNC. Nothing. Zero is new about the DNC. They don't care how many candidates get in a race. They do not care. They pick their choice, their establishment candidate. This is their Hillary Clinton. They will not move off John Ossoff. All right. John Ossoff, Democrat for Georgia, opened Thursday, March 15th, today, from 5 to 6 p.m. at the DNC building in Washington, D.C. Suggested contribution. We suggest PACs, $5,000 host money, $2,500 sponsor, 1,000 guests, personal $2,700. Okay, list goes on. You can RSVP and you can make the contribution payable to John Ossoff for Congress. Folks, this is big. It's ground zero for Republicans. You better wake up. You took the damn bus. You people. I asked somebody the other day, I said, what are you doing in the 6th District? Why? I can't vote there. I can't vote in the 6th District. Why would I get involved, right? Why? I'm thinking, well, what the hell? You got on a bus to go to Wisconsin to make sure Scott Walker did not get recalled. You got on a bus to go to Pennsylvania. You got on a bus to go to Florida. But you can't drive 100 miles here in Georgia down to the 6th District. I'm telling you now, if you don't put out a battle cry, they're pouring the money. If you're not in Georgia, if you're listening to your satellite radio, if you're listening to your headphones on some Pandora, if you're watching TV, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you are seeing John Ossoff. They're pouring the money in. I'm just telling you right now, it's ground zero. If you do not pay attention to my alert, the 6th district accidentally or does go blue, it will be a ripple effect across this nation. And if you think President Donald Trump is having a hard time selling his health care package, you wait till this happens because it will freeze up everything. That's it. I'm going to take a break. I'm running long. When I come back, folks, I wanted to do this in a way kind of to get the juices flowing. You know what I mean? Get moving here, okay? Because if you're new to the show, now if you've been around for a while, you'll understand. But if you're new to the show, nothing more than I enjoy of being threatened. I love it. Just tunes me up a couple more notches, okay? And Councilwoman Arp had her counsel reach out to me last night and threaten me. On the other side of this break, Councilwoman Arp, we're going to see how that works out for you. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Take us to break, Sam.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Elegy.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine.
El Rey.
El Rey and Elegy.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
It's a new year, new you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Don't miss the 35th Annual Atlanta International Auto Show, where you can shop and compare from hundreds of new cars, trucks, and SUVs from over 27 major manufacturers in one location. You'll also see debuting models for 2018, the latest in alternative fuel vehicles, and great special attractions. It's only once a year and 5 big days. March 22nd through the 26th, Georgia World Congress Center on Northside Drive.
Okay, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Is this a separate recording? Got it ready for a separate recording? Thank you, Sam. We just want to make sure, because we're going to have this on later today if you want to watch this segment. Now, last night at the Blue Ridge City Council meeting, and I said this jokingly, and several of you sent me text messages that led me to believe that I understood what it meant or implied when you say take it outside. Let me just put this up, and this is a joke in a way, but let me put this up, and then we're going to do this report on City Council. Run that little 6-second video.
Hey, buddy, you want to take this outside?
Sure.
Wow, what a lovely evening.
This was a really good idea.
Okay. Now, that's almost what it looked like last night at Blue Ridge City Council. I am not joking, okay? Now, let me put a couple things together. There is, and I'm going to put this together, and I think, Ms. Arp, I think your council, I would request you take notes, okay? Because what you did last night, you got into a verbal fight. I went and looked into the dictionary, and I went to several other dictionaries, even the urban slang and all the above. And what you and Ms. Thomas did last night, Council, you got into a verbal fight, okay? You're upset that I implied fight, but you did. I have the video. Then you referred to in the fight in a legal meeting. So let me set this up. I'm going to kindly talk to the council, but the rest of you can watch too. This is a legal meeting, okay? So while you're taking your notes out there, when you gavel in a meeting, I hate to have this teachable moment, okay? There's Robert's Rules of Order, and there are ways that you conduct yourself. So when you gavel in a meeting, from the time you gavel it in to the time you make a motion to adjourn, you are in a legal meeting that the citizens of Blue Ridge own, all of it. It is public record. It belongs to them in everything you do. Councilwoman Arp, in a legal meeting, it did not adjourn. Councilwoman Arp gestured to Councilwoman Thomas, do you want to take this outside? Okay? Legal meeting. She wanted to move the meeting outside. Okay, so their council is upset that I've used the word fight and that I've used the reference, do you want to take it outside and fight? You were fighting. I have the proof. And I have everything about that the fight was there and you offered to take it outside. Now, there's a thing that we call spoiling for a fight, okay? Now, whose fault was this last night? I'm going to set up some things for you, and then you're going to make a decision on whose fault it was. I'm going to tell you this. Somebody has to go. This needs to be the end. Somebody has to go. Either by chains of removal, either Councilwoman Rhonda Thomas or Councilwoman Angie Arp have to go. This is not acceptable. This conduct's not acceptable. Now, I'm going to tell you the chain of events, then you can make the decision on yourself who has to go. But somebody has to. This is not okay. Because what do I always tell you? From FetcherNews.com, FYN TV, from our side, because see, we're out there with the citizens. We're never behind the podium with the elected officials. They are there. Councilwoman Arp is there on behalf of the citizens to do the business of the citizens, nothing else. Not for personal gain, not to get her agenda across, not to get her feelings across, not to share her feelings. Same goes for Councilwoman Thomas, the mayor, and any of them. We're on this side. So you need to be good stewards of the taxpayers' money. and their assets and their time and their city hall. You'll see in the video. Now, all that being said, continue to take notes out there. There's a such thing called spoiling for a fight. And if you go to the dictionary, spoiling for a fight, argumentative, asking for a fight. You're asking for a fight, okay? They were, this is, use it in a sentence, they were just spoiling for a fight, and they went outside to settle the matter. She was grouchy, and you could tell she had been spoiling for a fight all day. Now, why did I read that? Because Councilwoman Arp has been spoiling for a fight for several days. I'm going to condense this. Now, Councilwoman Rhonda Thomas, I understand, has been on the front page of a publication publicly taking the city attorney to task, which she has the right to do, which Angie Arp has the right to do. I understand Councilwoman Rhonda Thomas was speaking at an event and was asked about the city of Blue Ridge. I guess I understand that. And she made reference to the city attorney and what the council, the taxpayers' money, were paying for this city attorney. That was kind of outrageous. These are my words, okay? I understand that Councilwoman Angie Arp took issue with that. I guess she felt it was a direct shot at her and why the city attorney was costing so much money. Because there's been some lawsuits that the city got into. And that would be a long morning that we'll break down at a later day. So that fired it off, where Councilwoman Thomas, now my understanding is, I don't know, I could be corrected, but I don't know that Councilwoman Thomas went and publicly took on Councilwoman Arp, but I do know she took on the city attorney. She has the right to tell citizens that she's speaking to, a citizens group, hey, this is my problem with how we're spending your tax money. Well, I would take forever. Now remember, yesterday was March 14th, okay? The reason we come up with spoiling for a fight. So what do you do at 1 a.m. in the morning? Sleep? What do you do at 1:24 in the morning? Sleep? What do you do at 3:24 in the morning? Most people sleep. I don't even get up till 4 a.m., 3:45. 3:45, maybe. Sleep. Not Councilwoman Arp, not when she's upset. I'm not going to read all 3 emails, but an open records request from Angie Arp, and I put this up here, from Angie Arp, Sunday, March 12th. Now this has been bothering her. March 12th, 2017 at 3:24 a.m. She sent this to Mayor Donna Whitener. Rhonda Thomas, she sent this directly to them. And the subject is Ada Street versus Blue Ridge. Court appeals or dismissed appeal important, she marked it. Okay, now this is a lawsuit that took place that, again, we don't have time, but this was sent on March 12th, okay, at 3:24 in the morning. Now I'm going to take this as facetious. My dear friends, Donna and Rhonda, how has your deceitful attacks and lies against me worked out for you so far? You lost, capital letters. Has it not hit either of you yet that you have lost, capital letters, every time you've gone against me, and the council for that matter? Does it not get old always being on the losing side? Have either of you considered you may just need to come to the realization that you are not going to ever win against me? What the hell's wrong with you, lady? 3:24 in the morning, you send the council, the mayor, and another. I mean, really? Really? Are you not figured out you'll never win against me? Win or lose? Holy smokes. No matter how dirty and deceitful you play, how long will you keep trying? It's been almost 4 years now, and you're still getting your tail kicked. Really? Spoiling for a fight? No. No, Councilwoman Arp's not really setting this up. She's not steaming. No, because see, this is on March, what is this? This is March 12th at 3:24 in the morning. Okay, March 12th. So let's move on. I'm going to publish all these emails later on Fetch Your News. I'm going to put them all out. You can read them yourself. Okay? Now, this is what Councilwoman Arp's doing. Now, here's the agenda for last night, okay? What's on the agenda? Discussion agenda items, okay? City Attorney Angie Arp. So Councilwoman Arp puts on here City Attorney, right? So I'm standing back there thinking, this is not going to end well. I mean, she's spoiling for a fight. Councilwoman Arp knows. Leave this thing alone, man. You put this up here and you start talking about and defending the city attorney and taking the other councilwoman in the middle of a meeting, you know, she's going to want to talk. This doesn't end well. Spoiling for a fight. Take it outside. The dictionary says take it outside, to move to a location outside the current location, where you're at, city council, take it outside, in order to escalate an altercation or fight. Now look up altercation. That could be a verbal fight. If you want a piece of me, take it outside. Now, Councilwoman Arp, this is what she's referring to, and we got to get to the video. We're going to get to the video right now. Councilwoman Arp, okay, put this out last night. The city, not Councilwoman Arp, my apologies. Councilwoman Rhonda Thomas put this out last night. In 2015, the city paid David Siphon, the city attorney, $134,673. In 2016, they paid the county city attorney $135,402. In the time he has been city attorney, it's come to almost about $800,000, I think. But the city attorney's bills are so outrageous. Okay, so last night, for some reason, Councilwoman Arp feels she has to defend the city attorney, and no, she doesn't feel this is going to go, this is going to go wrong. Because see, what I wanted to tell you, the reason I said, when she starts out, this starts out a little slow, but you need to pay attention. This is about a 6-minute video. You need to pay attention to it. I'm going to tell you when to stop because there's some other clips I don't want, okay? All right, so let's start with this video. I want to be able to hear this.
Is over, city attorney?
Yes, I just wanted to, Rhonda's made her opinion known of the attorney, and I don't want this to be,
Stop.
Everybody's in.
Rhonda made her opinion known. Trust me. Now, that's the very first thing. It says, city attorney. But she's directly going immediately. Rhonda made her opinion known. Man, why you can't leave this alone? Okay, go ahead.
Out of their opinion, have no problem with that. But since the make a motion for discussion on the city attorney.
You're in discussion.
Well, I need to make a motion though first because that's not what the policy says. I'll make a motion that we discuss.
I'll second.
Okay. Okay. Because four council members voted to hire David Siphon, of course, Rhonda didn't. I did want to point out some things about David Siphon. First of all, he charges $95 an hour versus many other attorneys, $200+ per hour. He is also deals only in municipal law, which is an advantage, opposed to an attorney that just, has their own practice and just deals with whatever you need him to. It's just an advantage having someone that deals with government law daily. Since I have been in office, I feel like he's been instrumental to getting the city in compliance with state and local laws, it's a lot for any, whether you came in 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 4 years ago, there's a lot to know, and there's no way that we can, we're not, none of us are educated in law, we don't have a law degree, so there's a lot of things that we don't know that they do, sometimes may not do exactly like it's supposed to be, but I feel like he's done a good job getting us in compliance and doing things the right way. I feel like that he's represented the city well. His guidance and advice.
This is going somewhere,
the
folks.
Katy County Superior Court and the Georgia Appeals Court in the lawsuit that was brought against the city. That lawsuit did cost the city a lot of money, but the council felt like that the decision was in the best interest of the residential areas. And I'm going to not say anything else about that, but I do feel like it was noted in there that, you know.
Stop. I'm not going to say anything else. She called Rhonda Thomas out when she started. She told all these things. She gave her side. She said, I'm not going to say anything else. But now watch what she invites to happen. Watch if she invites other people to make comment. Watch where this starts. Go ahead.
That I think Rhonda feels like that, you know, maybe we're paying him too much. The legal fees cost a lot, but the legal fees, some of the legal fees was attributed to things in the lawsuit that didn't have to happen, and I'm not going to elaborate on all that, but I did just want to, on behalf of David Siphons, since I've supported him and other 3 council members did, I feel like that I owe that to him because he was a little upset about it. He sent all of us an email, I guess in defense of his position. But I trust him. I do not feel that he spends our money without the thought that it's in the best interest, whatever he does, in the best interest of the city. So does any council member want to?
I would like to say something, yes. Okay. He has spent, since 2008, I have a handout which I would like to give to all of you of the money we have spent with him. In the last, since 2008, we have spent $637,000, and he has been to 3 meetings in 8 years. This is my 8th year on council. He's been to 3 meetings. One meeting he attended, he sat in the front row, and Mayor Widener was here, and he was giving 2 council members advice to say that she was absent. And so we had 2 members who voted to say she was absent, even though she was clearly sitting here. 2 and 3 of us voted no, that she was sitting here. But that's the type of attorney, someone who wants to say that the mayor is absent when she is clearly sitting here. And because she doesn't want to hear the obvious stuff.
Stop discussion.
And we can make a motion to stop discussion, but I will have a press conference afterwards.
Stop it. Now, Angie Arp wants to make a motion to stop discussion. So she started all this. She's sending emails at 3 in the morning, calling these people losers. And then she said, anybody want to say anything? So the lady starts giving her piece. I make a motion, we stop. Oh, I don't see this ending well, right? So for the council out there, for Ms. Arp, your council, please continue to make notes, okay? Because I'm going to highlight some things for you. Go ahead.
To tell you what I want to tell you.
Well, what I'll say about it is...
Okay, you made a motion to stop discussion.
Wait. Okay, everybody.
It's not been seconded.
Okay.
So,
then I can continue talking.
Let's move on.
Okay, that's fine. You can continue, and then we'll all talk.
Excuse me, wait just a minute, okay? Let's go ahead and finish. If you want to talk afterwards, you do that.
Actually, I would like to
do that. Let us finish our meeting, okay?
I would like to finish what I'm saying. She made a motion.
There's 2 minutes.
Okay, forget this. Say what you gotta say. We're talking about.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, there's a minute left.
You know, I'm looking out for the taxpayers. If you guys don't want to, that is your business, but $637,000 is a lot of money. We spent just last year $137,000. This man has been to 3 meetings in 8 years. And if you think that's right, then all of you need to talk to these council members, because that's a lot of money to these residents. Our average income here is about $20,000 per household. That's a lot of money. I'm sorry that you have, you obviously don't think so, but I do. And I'm here to look out for the taxpayers,
Okay.
not out for this attorney who is raping the city.
Okay, if that's the case, now
That's all.
Okay, now I want to say. Now let's listen. Okay, you said what you got to say. Okay. Now, if that's the truth, I make a motion we allow more time to speak.
Yeah.
If that's the truth, then Rhonda, and I didn't want to get into it, but my heart
You made a motion, second.
If that's the truth, then how do you explain the $103,000? How do you explain the $103,000 that was spent on 8th Street LLC?
Because she got us into a lawsuit. She and these three voted on an issue that was brought before the council, and they got us in a lawsuit. I had to be able to work 4 days.
I'm calling point of order and move on to the next.
Stop. Okay, for the council, this is only for Councilwoman Angie Arp's attorney. I'm speaking to you. This is a legal meeting. Rodney Kendall, council member Rodney Kendall just yelled, point of order. You yell point of order when the meeting's out of order. If you look up the definition of what's happening right now, that is called a verbal fight. And when there's a verbal fight, the Mayor Pro Temp, right there, Rodney Kendall, yelled point of order because you're in a fight and he wants it stopped. So you just make that note when you have threatened me in my news organization because I used the word fight. Maybe you need to pay attention to the rest of it because I got some more for you. All right, let's go.
I'm subpoenaed to court for 4 days to have to testify against her.
And the jury.
And he should never have been that lawsuit in the first place.
Okay. You lied under.
You are the one who lied. Are you saying that?
Read the final order of the court. Stop.
Are you serious?
Okay, please.
You lied under oath.
Okay, it's time for public comment.
Take it outside on.
Stop. Back that up. Now, Miss Arp is going to call this a discussion. All right, her definition, but I've looked through 5 dictionaries this morning, and this is not actually called a discussion, okay? It's a fight. Now, she's going to say you want to take this outside. Back that up just a hair. I want the residents, all of our viewers, but I want her counsel to get to see that again, and I will provide that for you, okay? Because, you may find a jury in New York City or San Francisco that says you want to take it outside could mean a dance-off, but where we live, take it outside means something else, friends, okay?
On to the next.
I was subpoenaed to court for 4 days to have to testify against her.
And the jury.
And he should never have been involved in that lawsuit in the first place.
Okay. Lying. You lied under.
You are the one who lied. Are you saying that?
Read the final order of the court. Stop.
Are you serious?
Okay, please.
You lied under oath.
Okay, it's time for public comment.
Take it outside on.
This outside. We will afterward, yes.
Okay.
Okay, Caesar, you're next.
Ladies and gentlemen, round 3.
All right, end that there. All right, now this is Nathan Fitz going up. We're going to play that later, and Nathan Fitz actually talks about his experience with the city attorney. You want to take it outside? Folks, somebody has to go. Now, I'm going to do more on this story because I'm going to release the emails. And we're going to do more on the city attorney's cost. But let me tell you something. Somebody has to go. And in my book, take it outside means to move to a location outside the current location in order to escalate an altercation or fight. You need to look up there, counsel. You need to look up the definition. That was a fight. That was a verbal fight that Miss Arp insinuated she wanted to escalate. Okay? Pay attention to that one. Oh, by the way, send me email, chief@fetchernews.com, if you need my address to send me a letter concerning the threats you made to me last night. Because I will not be bullied. You understand? Okay, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We're going to take a brief break, and then it's time for tax tips with Beth Bennett. We're running a little late. Don't we have a video? We have a video where I think we've seen one of the council members on, what was it, Dr. Phil? Play that and then go to commercial. Watch this, go to commercial, and then come back.
They never catch me. Ain't nobody gonna catch me.
Because you're too streetwise?
Yup. And all these hoes laughing like something funny.
She's talking about the audience, that they're laughing at her.
Did you say the hoes are laughing?
Yep.
So the audience are a bunch of hoes?
Yeah. Catch me outside. How about that?
Huh?
Catch me outside. How about that?
Catch you outside? What does that mean?
What I just said.
Catch her outside and she'll go outside and do what she has to do. That's what she's talking about.
Oh, yeah,
this
no,
is
okay,
all,
yeah.
This is all, but don't you see that this is all mouth? This is mouth.
Oh,
So you want to take this outside? Because I think they can bring cameras outside.
Really? Because I think I flipped you.
You want to do it again?
Danny, don't get all tough. Please don't. This is not the place
Hey,
and this is not
sit
the time.
down.
Sit down.
All right, Dan.
Sit down.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. And no matter what vehicle you drive, our new state-of-the-art service center can keep you running like new, with factory-trained technicians, genuine parts, and value pricing. Even convenient Saturday service hours and online appointments. So if you want to extend the life of your vehicle, let the Days service experts help. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where we service whatever you drive.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
We're back. I'm your host, BKP, and you know what time it is here Wednesday morning at 8:45 or 8:54, running a little late. It's time for Tax Tips, H&R Block with Beth Bennett. How are you today, Beth?
I'm good, Brian. How are you? A little riled up?
No, I'm calm. Well, no. How dare you say that about me?
I say we take it outside. I'm just kidding. Not that I'm a pot stirrer. That's how taxes I get.
I know you do. And listen, usually this is me, but I'm going to tell you, try to stay focused. Beth,
I'm sorry.
How are you today?
I'm good.
It's cold outside.
It is cold outside.
It is cold, but that doesn't change the fact.
It's snowing.
I know. That does not change the fact that it's tax season.
It is still tax season.
And they keep calling me from Blue Ridge. I'm on the automated thing to tell me there's a 2-hour delay for school, but it is tax season. What is our topic this morning?
Today I thought we'd talk about some unexpected taxable income, those surprises you get. You're not
Unexpected taxable income. I wanted to make sure I could say that.
You got it that time. Good job.
I really don't deal with a lot of unexpected taxable income.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Unexpected taxable income. Every week we take a subject. Beth brings something in that she knows that people have questions about, and this is our subject for the day. What do you have there? What's your points?
So unemployment's always taxable. A lot of people don't realize that, and you should have taxes withheld. You can and should. Make sure you do that. You will get.
Now let me say, when you go to sign up, don't they ask you if you want tax or not tax?
They're supposed to.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is, so when you sign up for unemployment, if you choose do not take taxes out, that can hit you when you come to file. That's your unexpected. That's okay.
Yeah.
Is that a big one? Does that catch people off guard? Or?
Well, it kind of depends what industry people are in. Like if you're in the carpet mills, they regularly get unemployment. Their teams go on rotating.
Right, I can see that.
Right,
happening.
so they go like every 10 weeks or 15 weeks or whatever. So they might draw unemployment 2 or 3 times every year. That's a normal for them. But if it's brand new to you, you've never drawn unemployment before, you're trying to make as much money in your pocket every week as you can because you've just lost your job. So you might opt to not have taxes withheld. However, if you go back to work and then you got good income coming, it could hit very hard at the end of the year, and so you don't want that to happen.
So unemployment is an unexpected. What else you have there?
We got lottery, gambling, raffle tickets, all that. Horse racing. If you win at horse racing, it's taxable income. Did you know that?
Yeah, I want you to write this down. Carla won $20 from me, and I want to make sure she reports it. I want to put her.
I'll check on that.
Yeah,
for her.
will you check on that? Because yesterday Carla got me for 20.
Tell the story.
No, I'm not telling the story.
You can't just leave it at that.
Bet. Made a little bet. She went to something. She went to the chamber lunch, and I gave her 3 words. It was a little silly game. I gave her 3 words that if the guest speaker said any of the 3 words, I won $20, and they didn't. So that was a silly thing.
Oh, that's pretty fun.
So Carla won $20. I just want to make sure, because that was an unexpected. See, I expected to win. So that was an unexpected game for Carla.
So you don't get to take that loss.
Yeah, tell her when you do that. So gambling. Tell me a little bit about gambling. Is there a limit, like under a certain amount, you don't have to report, over a certain amount, and how do you report?
Well, technically, you're supposed to report all income no matter what and how you earn it, period, no matter the dollar
you
amount.
have to report it, but over a limit, it's taxable, I guess. Or
it's taxable from day one.
I mean, from even the first dollar?
Well, yeah, technically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you trade something, that's bartering. It should go on your tax return. Do people do that? Heck no. Right? They're not doing that. So if you gamble, like at the casino or with the lottery, that's your most common you're going to see. We don't have horse racing anywhere near us. But you're not going to get anything until you've hit $600. So if you scratch a lottery ticket and you win $600, you're going to get a 1099-G from the lottery department. Or if you hang out at the casino a lot and you win big, you're going to get a 1099-G from them if you've hit over the 600. On the flip side of that, though, you can take your losses up to your winnings amount. So that's a plus, right? Because most people who gamble and get the $600, they've spent that to get there, right?
Right.
It's not that much that you just get, you know, you go and put $5 in this machine and win $600. So you can take those. You are required, you're not required to give it to your tax preparer, but you are required to be able to present your documentation to the IRS if you're ever audited. You know, your already scratched tickets that you lost on, any statements. You know, if you're at the casino, they'll give you a statement. Any tickets, keep a log.
Right.
If you win a TV or a car, you have that's taxable. If you win it at work, like if you win, highest sales for this week and you win a TV, that's supposed to go on your W-2 as taxable income at the fair market value price.
Okay, well, there's two that I do not have unexpected income. Let's try the next one.
Cancellation of debt, you probably don't have that either. So that's like if you lost your home for foreclosure or bankruptcy. In some instances, that could be taxable income. Generally on your home, if it's your main home, your mortgage was secured by your main home to buy it, to build it, or substantially improve one, then that's generally excludable. There's a special exception for that. But the most common that we see that becomes taxable is when people get a car repossessed. That becomes taxable income. A credit card is the most common. And people come in and they'll have $30,000 or $40,000 in credit card debt that they've negotiated out of or written off. And that's technically income, and you pay taxes on that.
I read something, and not to get sidetracked, that is going to, I read that is not going to be highlighted on your FICO score like it used to be.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's if you have settled debt, it won't be weighted as heavy on your FICO score any longer.
I think it should be.
Well, I'm just saying, I read that. You can check that out later. It's just an article. It has nothing to do with the tax return, but the FICO score. Now, on the cancellation debt, for example, is what companies say is, okay, if you owed, because we've seen this, and it's not like I'm proud of it, but in the I call it the collapse of 2008.
Very common.
When our commercial building materials business, when we closed that, there was a lot of debts, and people said, okay, we're going to write the debt off, and you owed us $10,000. Then basically we're saying we gave you $10,000, and that's what you're talking about. So
because technically you spent that $10,000. Right. You received the product.
Right. So you would get a statement saying that that is unexpected taxable income that sometimes people don't realize.
Most people are mortified when they get that and bring it to us and realize what it is. They have no idea. No idea that it's taxable. They don't know what it's for. Sometimes we've got to do research for them to get down to the bottom of where it came from, what the amount is. And there are some very special instances where you can get it excluded, but not often on the cars and the credit cards. The home is almost always excludable, but the credit cards and the car, not so much.
Well, you spent the money, and they say that we gave you that amount of money. So if you have a credit card and you wrote it off and it's $5,000, they say we gave you $5,000.
Yeah,
and that's
money because you went out to eat with it,
right,
or bought whatever with it.
So that catches people off guard when they come in and they have that?
Yeah, that's a pretty sad day.
What about our last subject, the
401k? So a lot of people will take money out of their 401k to pay for whatever. Maybe they're buying a house, maybe they're buying a car, or whatever. Unless you're 59 and a half, you're going to pay the 10% penalty, right? Over 59 and a half, you don't have to pay the penalty unless you have exorbitant medical expenses that's going to reach over the 10% on the Schedule A if you itemize, or if you become disabled in that year. The penalty gets waived. The 10% penalty gets waived, but not the taxes. And see, like if you call and you call your company's 401k plan and you say, I need to take out $20,000, they're generally just going to withhold 10% penalty. So then when you come in to get your taxes done, if you add $20,000 to your regular income, that's taxable. It's taxable income, because remember, when you put money in your 401k at work, it's deferred before taxes, right? So no tax has been paid on it. So that adds to your income. So it could put you in a higher tax bracket. That'll hurt you there. And it can phase you out. You reach some of the phase-out limits and lose a lot of credits, or highly reduced credits. So you want to be very careful of that. Like I said, most financial institutions, when you get money out of a 401k, only take out the 10% penalty. So then you're still left with your federal taxes and your state. Georgia's 6%, depends where you are for federal. And again, you could be in the 15% on your regular income, but then you take out 10, 15, 20,000. So now you might be in the 25%. All depends. So that's very scary. Lots of people come in and they'll Had somebody last year just took out $5,000, but that $5,000 that they took out of a 401k was enough to bump them, and they lost their child tax credit, got reduced crazy.
Just enough.
Just enough. Just
You know,
enough. So
you
you
brought
gotta be
up
very
a couple.
careful.
You brought up a couple things. We're talking about unexpected taxable income this morning, unemployment, lottery and gambling, cancellation of debt, and 401k. And you see, there's several things. Now, you're open year round.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there's several things that Beth Bennett here from H&R Block, our tax tips this morning, has brought up that, yes, it's tax season, but there are questions all throughout the year that a good tax preparer you should make friends with. She's easy to make friends with. There you go. That was simple. I introduced you to a bunch of people.
I appreciate that.
Beth Bennett, H&R, where are your locations? Before I do my eye test for this is my eye test for the week.
I know.
See how I'm
You
doing.
pass every week, too.
We'll see today, okay?
All right, so we have 500 Highland Crossing up there by Walmart, 368 Craig Street, which you see behind us, and River Street. And remember, if you get any of these things are happening to you all throughout the year, come and see us, or call your tax professional, let them help you plan. If if you win lottery, before you spend all that money, go see your tax professional, let them help you plan for that. If you have a cancellation of debt, if you need to take money out of your 401k, consult with someone before you do it. Doesn't have to be us, we're here all year, but talk to someone.
It is tax season, and yes, you can reach them at 706-635-5563. If you can't get there within their office hours, call them. They will do everything they can to accommodate their customers. And also, we want to stress again, this is year-round, and if any of these things take place throughout the year, it is best that you can contact your tax consultant, which I'd like to recommend Beth Bennett, H&R Block. We good?
We're good. Thank you, Brian.
Is it cold outside?
It is cold outside,
You
and
want
it's
to take
snowing.
it outside?
Yeah.
Come
on.
We'll be back after these messages. We're going to continue our Congressional 6th District Congressional interviews. We're talking about that special election on the other side of these commercials. Take us out of here, Sam.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
It's a new year, new you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Don't miss the 35th Annual Atlanta International Auto Show, where you can shop and compare from hundreds of new cars, trucks, and SUVs from over 27 major manufacturers in one location. You'll also see debuting models for 2018, the latest in alternative fuel vehicles, and great special attractions. It's only once a year and 5 big days. March 22nd through the 26th, Georgia World Congress Center on Northside Drive.
Okay, and we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. And it has been a live show this morning, obviously. You can follow us on Twitter at Fetcher News, at FYNTV. You can email us at chief@fetchernews.com, 706-889-9700, 24-hour hotline for news. If you see news or you need to contact us, that's the number. We've been doing a series on the 6th Congressional District, Georgia 6th Congressional District special election. Former Congressman Tom Price is now the HHS Secretary, right in the center of things, so with the new health care bill, and that leaves an opening. There are 18 candidates, 11 Republicans, 5 Democrats, and 2 independents. We have offered all 18 candidates an opportunity to do approximately 30-minute video so you can get to know these candidates a little better as we discuss issues with them. This morning, we're happy to have with us, qualified as a Republican, Ms. Amy Kremer. Ms. Kremer, are you with us there?
I am. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be on with you.
Well, I've followed a lot of what you've done from afar. I don't think we've ever met at one of the events. We probably attended one of them, but I don't think I've ever had an opportunity to meet with you. You're in the 6th District. Let's just start right out with why you chose now to run for this office, this special election, and what were you thinking? Why now? And what's your game plan? There you go.
Sure. Well, again, thanks for having me, and hopefully we'll meet in person one day. I'm one of the founders of the modern-day Tea Party movement. I had never been involved in politics until the Tea Party movement. I'm a former flight attendant and real estate agent, and the past 9 years I have been on a bus or crisscrossing the country from coast to coast electing conservatives such as Ted Cruz, Mike Lee, Rand Paul, Mark Meadows. I mean, I could go on and on. But as I've done that, I've carried the values of the 6th District with me as I've worked to elect these conservatives and send them to Washington. And I never planned on running for Congress. It was not something that I really aspired to do. But as I've crossed the country and worked in the Tea Party movement, I have encouraged others to step out of their safe zone and put themselves out there and run, because I believe we need more citizen legislators. We don't need more politicians, more lobbyists, more lawyers in Washington. So I've been working with Tom Price to fight Obamacare since before it was even called Obamacare. When we had the big march on D.C. back in 2009, we had a doctors rally at the U.S. Capitol where we had more than 1,000 doctors come to the U.S. Capitol. First time that had ever happened, and it's not happened since.
so I've been working with Tom Price to fight Obamacare since the very beginning. And when he was elected HHS secretary, I live in this district. I've lived here my entire life, was born and raised here, went to Auburn University for a little bit, but have lived here, like I said, my entire life. And so when Tom was elected HHS secretary, and this is my district, it was like, and people were coming to me saying, you need to run, which they've encouraged me to do all through the years. You know, how could I not run when I've been out there encouraging others to do the same? If I'm going to encourage others to do it, I need to be willing to do it myself. And so here I am. As I said, I've crossed the country, you know, carrying the values of the 6th District with me, and now I want to represent the people of the 6th District. And so, Brian, that's really why I decided to do this and jump into this race. I believe that we are a conservative district, we're a conservative state, and we need to have somebody in Washington that is willing to represent the people of this district, and that's exactly what I want to do.
Outside looking in, I have been reading articles from several publications. Outside looking in, it's not looking like, if you're outside, that the 6th District is quite a conservative district. And where I'm going with this is there may be a couple candidates that's not embracing the president as much. And these are my words, so this is outside looking in. So if elected and running right now, do you embrace the president, or I mean, I know you're going to be your own person if you go to Congress, but what say you in that kind of mood that I'm seeing in that district a little bit?
So I believe that the district is actually more conservative than what some people are saying, and we could get into that. But as far as where I am with the president, I'll tell you, I was on board with Donald Trump from day one. I am a huge Ted Cruz supporter. I could have supported Rand Paul. I mean, a number of the guys that were running in that race, I helped elect and send to Washington. But I was on board with President Trump, and I'll tell you why. Because I believe, like I said, we need outsiders in Washington. I firmly believe that we needed a businessman who understood economics and how global markets work and so on and so forth. And I believe that it was going to take somebody from the outside to really shake up Washington, and Donald Trump was that person. I also didn't want to lose Ted Cruz from the Senate, Rand Paul from the Senate, so on and so forth. So the only way that we could have Ted Cruz and Rand Paul and Donald Trump all in Washington to fight this good fight was to have Trump in the White House and Rand and Ted in the Senate. So I am a supporter of Donald Trump, and I remember back in 2011 when Jim DeMint called us to Washington to meet about cut, cap, and balance. I said to him at the end of that meeting, Senator, what can we do to help you? And he said, you can send me backups and reinforcements because it gets pretty lonely up here. So I know Donald Trump needs backup and reinforcement. I know the guys in the Freedom Caucus, House Freedom Caucus, need backup and reinforcement. Same with the conservatives in the Senate. So I am going to support them in their efforts. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to be a yes woman or yes man for Donald Trump or anyone else. I'm going to represent the people of the 6th District. So as long as they are doing what is best for the American people and the people in this district, I will support them. But at the end of the day, I will represent the people of the 6th District.
Well, I think I can understand that. I mean, I can understand saying that. Sure, support the president, but then your first and foremost responsibility has to be to the 6th District. You brought it up, so let me put a couple things into because looking here, you go from you helped elect Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz, Mike Lee, and you have that all written down there. So right now, because if elected on May 18th, and if not in June, we have April 18th. I said May. I apologize. Yes, thank you. April 18th. I don't know. I'm pushing up for April flowers bring May showers bring May flowers. So anyhow, so if elected April 18th, if not in June, the issues right now that we're discussing, you would be there probably making decisions on. So the new health care bill, the American Health Care Plan, some claim Obama light, even from the Republican side. The Freedom Caucus, you brought up the Freedom Caucus, that's what I'm putting out there. They're not satisfied with it at this time. Senator Rand Paul said dead on arrival. You know the whole list. You know what's going on with that. What say you about this plan and what I call, or they're calling, the three-prong effect? So can you elaborate on that?
Sure. So, first of all, I believe it's really upsetting to me because I think they are squandering an opportunity. The Democrats are running interference, or they're doing this obstructionist thing. It's exactly what their constituents want them to do. But the Republicans were sent to Washington, number one, to repeal and replace Obamacare. That was their number one job. They've all campaigned on it for the past 6, 7, 8 years now. Well, here they are, and they are dragging their feet, and they're playing the silly games that Washington plays. And it's unfortunate, and I'm truly afraid that they are going to blow this opportunity, and come 2018, they're going to lose their butts, and Dems are going to take over the House and Senate, and the Republicans will deserve that if that happens. When they need to do a clean repeal bill, they do not. They say this three-step, this three-prong process, or the three buckets: bucket 1, bucket 2, bucket 3. I'm concerned we're not even going to get to step 2 because they are losing momentum with every passing day, the way that they are handling this. And what's unfortunate is people say we need to come together with Democrats and work together on this. We can't even get the Republicans to come together on this. And Brian, I'll tell you what's the most disappointing to me is I know Paul Ryan, I like Paul Ryan, but Paul Ryan's trying to pull a fast one on the people, I believe, and the president. He says he's going to do this by regular order. We're going to go through the process and do this by regular order. And that means it's going to be written in the committees, and then we'll bring it to the floor, and so on and so forth. Well, he did it in the committees, wouldn't let anyone else be involved in that process, and then they're going to bring it to the floor, and they won't allow any amendments to it. That's just like what the Democrats did. We're no better than them if that's the way it's going to be handled. The American people deserve to have a debate on this and have amendments added, and the Freedom Caucus, they represent people across this country, and they should have a voice in this, and Paul Ryan has cut them out. I hope and pray when Ted Cruz met with the president last week and had dinner with him, my thoughts were, I hope Ted is able to pull the president to the right, to our way. And so an article came out on Politico last night that said that the president had a phone call, I guess, with Paul Ryan and Scalise and some others, and I guess it was pretty tense, but he wants some things put in that bill that the conservatives want. And so I hope that they're working on that, but I truly am afraid that it's not going to happen because they're losing momentum. And another thing, Brian, I'll say is that this is not something that that they can handle part through the legislative process and then part through executive action with Tom Price, writing rules and regulations at HHS, because if that happens 4 years from now, if Donald Trump's not reelected, we could have a Democrat president in there and they could undo it immediately. This needs to be done through the legislative process so it becomes law and it's not some executive action.
Well, you mind if I call you Amy?
No, go please.
Amy, the three-prong obviously is the first one, their reconciliation. Yes. And the second one's HHS, and the third one's legislative. And as we both know, and you touched on this, that when Kathleen Sebelius was the HHS secretary and they passed, the Affordable Care Act, every third paragraph says refer HHS, refer HHS. So what I'm hearing you, and I want you to just reiterate this for me, what I'm hearing you say is, okay, so Tom Price, we like Tom Price around here in Georgia, but Tom Price, HHS secretary, goes through there and makes all of these changes from his level. If we don't change the powers of HHS in itself and something happens, Trump does not get reelected, the new HHS secretary just goes through and scratches those out and changes it back. Did I hear you going down that direction in a way?
Yes, and that is exactly what I mean, and that's why I say it needs to be done through the legislative process. Now, I'm sure that there are some things that HHS handles and they always have, and they probably always will. But for the most part, this needs to be done through the legislative process so that it becomes law. And just for example, first of all, you and I as individuals, I mean, I'm assuming that you do, but I know for myself and my own family, I want to know I want to be able to plan out. I don't want to have to be dealing with this yo-yo on health care and insurance and everything every 2-4 years. That's not right. And also when it comes to businesses don't operate on short-term plans. They operate on long-term plans. And businesses need to be able to plan and allocate their resources and this, that, and the other. And when you have an administration, administrations coming in and out and changing things every 2 to 4 years, that's not acceptable. No one can live like that. So the American people deserve better than that, and that's why I think it needs to be done through the legislative process.
All right, Amy, I'd love to stay and discuss health care. In fact, I'd love to put a panel together where 7 or 8 of us could talk health care for a couple hours. But you're saying if Paul Ryan, if they do not listen to the president, push some of the things that Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, Freedom Caucus is saying we have to accept this as a repeal and replace, you're saying they've got a problem if that doesn't happen?
I absolutely think they do. I mean, just one thing, and I know you want to move on from this, but the one thing that is so important that even Democrats could get on board with is purchasing insurance across state lines. And that's something that the Dems could get on board with because most Americans support that. That's going to drive down the cost to create competition. That's free market solution. And at this point, we're not even going to get to that because they're losing momentum, and they're not even going to be able to get through this first bucket, so to speak, or first step. So, they've got to put some of these things in there because without Republicans, they can't do it by themselves. Dems aren't on board with it, and all Republicans aren't on board with it, so they seriously have a problem.
Let's go to immigration and border security. One, let me just put this out there, and then you can take the whole subject and go with it. One, do you support a wall, a deterrent of some sort, mostly being a wall on our southern border? Two, have you listened to the president's laying out what he feels is the best route for immigration reform? And do you support that, or would you like to see it go further, or what other changes would you want to see in immigration and border security?
So, number one, I do support a border wall, but I don't think it's just the border wall that's going to secure our borders. I think it's going to be a combination of, different things, because part of it is actually the Rio Grande River, I think, that goes across there. So you can't build a wall through there, but so it's going to be a number of things because they'll tunnel under and do anything that they can to get into this country. But yes, I do support a wall, and I do believe that they need to allocate the funds to deal with border security right away. Like the president has said so many times, I believe that you don't have a sovereign country if you don't have secure borders. We absolutely need to secure our borders. We do have an illegal immigration problem. We need to deal with that illegal immigration problem, but we can't do that until our borders are secure. I personally believe we are a land of immigrants. People come from all over the world, and it's been called the melting pot. I want immigration to continue, but I want it to be done the correct way. And the illegal immigrants that are here, I believe that Donald Trump, the way he has laid out handling it, with dealing with the bad dudes, I think is what he said first, and getting them out of here, I absolutely support that 100%. And then going through and dealing with the other illegal immigrants that are here. I believe that Donald Trump is a compassionate person. I believe that most Americans are compassionate people. I don't think that there are many people that want to, split up families and separate children from their mothers and that sort of thing. That's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is to have people live within our laws, follow the laws of the United States, and if they come here legally, that's fine. And we will get to that, but I do think we have to deal with the situation at hand first, and it's going to be done in a slow process. I don't think there's a way. We don't have the resources to do it quickly, but I do think that with Donald Trump in the White House and with Republicans in control in the House and Senate, I do think it is something that we can focus on and accomplish.
All right, well, let me ask you this. Would you be in favor of a pathway to residence? Now, not citizenship, or that's up to you, whatever you're. So would you be open to a sort of, it's like the president, we'll just quote him, okay? The bad dudes, right? I mean, right. President said the bad dudes are going first, and, I try not to do the interviews and sound supportive of certain topics, but obviously I support that all the way. I think everybody should support the gangs and the drugs and things like that being stopped. Then after that, if you have people working that are actually working, you have children in our schools, whatever, do you support a path to residency in any type? What do you say?
So, it's very complicated, and honestly, what I would like to see the president do is I would like him to, and our representatives, our senators and congressmen, I would like them to do listening tours and listen to what the American people think and feel, how they think and feel about this. I have seen some things on some of the cable news networks, and like I said, I believe that the American people are compassionate. I do not support a pathway to citizenship for people that have come here illegally. I think that they need to get in line behind the ones that have come here legally or are in line to come here legally. A pathway to residency, I'm not sure, Brian. I mean, I'm just being totally honest with you here. I don't know exactly how it should be handled. I know there have been many different options that have been put out there. I'm not sure exactly what I could support right now, but I do believe that those that have been here, 15, 20 years, whatnot, working, contributing to society, I do think that we need to be able to work that out some way so that families are not, pulled apart. Children aren't pulled away from their moms and dads and whatnot. I just don't know exactly what that looks like.
Okay, let me give you one more. I want to end with a couple of questions that I've asked every single candidate, regardless of party affiliation. But before we do that, let's go to tax reform and job creation, kind of push that all together. The president is Steve Mnuchin. The president is trying to get his tax reform, his budget together with a tax cut, repatriate money from corporate tax and bring some money back to this country. They say there's $1 trillion plus sitting out there that can come back. What say you on what you've seen on tax reform, and what can you support, and what do you think it should look like, tax reform?
So I think that the more money we send to Washington in taxes, the more power that they gain. I could support repealing the 16th Amendment. That I could definitely support repealing the 16th Amendment. I do believe that we could do a fair tax or a flat tax, but the one thing I know for sure is that our tax code is too complicated. We need to simplify our tax code, and we need to cut taxes on individuals and corporations. And I believe that, like when Reagan cut taxes and it pumped a bunch of money back into the economy, I believe that that's what will happen now. Corporations, I mean, when we have the highest corporate tax rate in the world, there's no incentive for companies to move here, to relocate their businesses here. So I do believe we need to lower that corporate tax rate. And at the same time, that will allow them to take that money and put it back into their companies, invest in the businesses, and it will create jobs. And again, when you're looking at long-term, like businesses do, I think that will help our businesses grow and create a pro-growth environment where you will have jobs created. At the same time, you cut taxes on individuals. That puts more money in their pockets. What are they going to do? They're going to go out and spend money, and there again, you're going to put more money back into the economy, and it's actually going to create revenue for the federal government. So I think that is the way for job growth. We need to create that pro-growth environment so that jobs are created. Businesses have confidence in the economy, and they know what's going to happen down the road. And part of that is Obamacare too, because we all know some businesses have not been able to afford paying for Obamacare for their employees. So I think that is part of it as well.
Okay, our last two things this morning, Amy. Today actually is March 15th, and we remember Speaker Boehner handing over to now Speaker Paul Ryan the can that they kicked all the way down the road called the debt ceiling limit that put a cap on what the debt could be at. And we know that ends today. So we don't hear it in the news, but tomorrow somebody has to do something on the debt limit, on the ceiling. That being said, the national debt, I understand, in 10 years, excuse me, I think it's interesting that there's more time spent, and this is my word, so I just have to get this out because sometimes I get riled up. There's more time spent on the CBO report on that it will, in the next 10 years, put 24 million people off health care. So it's interesting that that's the narrative that you keep hearing. But let's use another 10 years. I understand that regardless if Hillary Clinton was president of the United States or Donald Trump was the United States, the Oval Office itself, whoever's behind the desk, if nothing happens in 10 years, the national debt goes up another $10 trillion. That's my understanding. What say you concerning this debt ceiling that's coming on us, which we really have no choice or start defaulting or something because we don't have enough cash to run the country, and the actual debt we're facing, because you can't talk about the third rail of Medicare and Social Security, and you know, there's so many things that they won't allow you to talk about. What say you on the national debt? I guess I'll get around to it sooner or later, Amy. I apologize. I get wound up on the national debt.
It's okay. So I believe that we have to deal with entitlements, and because that is part of our national debt, and they're insolvent. And Obamacare is another entitlement program. That's another reason that it has to be dealt with. I am not an economist. I'm not an accountant. And it's very complicated. I don't have the specific answers right in front of me. I don't know them, but I do know it needs to be dealt with regardless of how hard it is. Whether it be, the younger generation, our children, I have one child that's 26, whether it's her generation that, Social Security is changed and they're able to invest in 401ks or something of that nature. I'm not sure what the answer is, but something has to happen because it is insolvent. Our national debt is actually, I think, it's a threat to our national security. I believe that we need to get off foreign oil and stop borrowing money from others. Use the energy resources that we have here. I know Donald Trump wants to do this, big infrastructure deal, and where we work on the infrastructure across this nation because some of it is crumbling. But at the same time, I believe that if we're going to go spend that money, we need to cut from somewhere else. We cannot continue to spend into oblivion. It's not acceptable, and I don't think it's morally right to put that debt on our children and grandchildren. So I do think it needs to be dealt with. We need to cut spending, and cutting spending is not it's not going to handle it all in itself. I believe that if we were to create a pro-growth environment and pump some of that, get businesses coming here, get people spending more money because they've got more tax money in their pocket, the money that is put back into the economy that generates that revenue, I think that it should be used to pay down our debt. We have to get this spending under control. We cannot continue down this path to insolvency.
All right, last question for the actual interview here. I've asked every candidate specifically, you're in the 6th Congressional District, specifically, what do you want to go and accomplish that you feel you need to do for the citizens of the 6th District? Stay focused on the 6th District. What would you like to accomplish for them? Or what's important there for that district?
Well, I think that, Obamacare, number one, is important. It's affecting all of us. And when we talk about Obamacare, when they're talking about Obamacare, just because you put a health insurance card in somebody's wallet doesn't mean that they're going to have health care coverage. Then you have to get in and see a doctor. We need to fix this whole system. And I believe that it's important for all members of the 6th District. That is very important, and they're having a hard time doing it. So I would like to go up there and put my, have my say in it and give them some reinforcement and backup to do the right thing. That's number one. But I think tax reform is another thing. It's part of what, it probably touches every American across this country, again, because families want to be able to put food in their table, gas in their cars, and pay for their kids to go to college, and all the things that we do as families. That affects the people right here in the 6th District, just like it does in other places. So, and I believe that those are the top two things that when this president was elected and the Republicans were sent back to control the House and the Senate, I believe that those are the top two things. And so those are the things that we need to be dealt with and Republicans need to follow through on their promises on that. And so that's what I want to go focus on.
Amy, the 6th Congressional District, and I really haven't had this conversation with any other candidates up till now, but following things, the 6th Congressional District is getting actual national coverage, and it's being put out there almost like a referendum on Donald Trump, that the 6th Congressional District will be the first district to get to say whether they support or approve or disapprove of the president. That being said, are you concerned with the amount of money that you're seeing coming in for the Democrat candidate? There are 5 candidates, and all 5 candidates are not happy about this, but are you concerned with the money that's pouring in for Mr. Ossoff in that district from around the country?
Oh, absolutely. But it honestly, Brian, it does not surprise me. He's having a fundraiser actually Thursday night.
I opened my show with that. I got the fundraiser clip. I opened the show with it, and I actually told people they better pay attention. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's okay. But yeah, no, I'm concerned about it. I'm absolutely concerned about it. But at the end of the day, I believe that this is a conservative district. I don't believe that Dems are going to win this seat, regardless of how much money's put in here. Look, you can go to a number of races around the country, and even Republican against Republican, Dave Bratt against Eric Cantor in Virginia a couple of years ago in that primary. I don't think that the Dems are going to win this seat. I think that it is going to be a Republican held seat, and I'm not worried about it. But at the same time, the people in this district have to get out and vote, because that is what's going to stop them. We can stop them with our vote, but that's the only thing that we can stop them with.
Okay, is there going to be a forum? I went to a Democrat forum this past weekend. I haven't actually been invited or seen anything. Is there a forum coming up for Republicans that you're aware of here soon that maybe I can attend?
I have seen so many emails and invites for forums and debates and whatnot. I know that the Republican Party was talking about having one, the Cobb Republican Party. The only thing that I know of off the top of my head right now is that Brand Bank is having a forum, I believe, on March 29th, and it's going to be Actually, I'm not sure where it is, but I think it's going to be broadcast on WSB radio, and it's around the lunchtime hour, sometime midday. I can get that information for you. I don't know if it's a public thing, if you have to buy tickets for it, or how that'll happen, but I can find out for you and let you know.
Anything on forums or anything like that that we maybe can attend and highlight for the voters, just, send us an email, okay?
Okay, I can do that.
Thank you very much, and we want to end by telling you the same thing we tell every candidate. We thank you for your willingness to serve the district and the citizens in the 6th District, and FetcherNews.com, FYN TV, wish you well during your campaign.
Thank you so much, Brian. I hope you have a great day.
You too.
Thanks for having me on.
Okay, that we have been with Amy Kremer. She's a Republican candidate in the 6th Congressional District, and we're continuing every day. You'll be able to find this with our other interviews on our YouTube channel later today. Take us to break. We're going to wrap up when we come back with a couple points nationally, look around nationally, and a couple things that I want to go over before we close today's show. So take us to break there, Sam.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Don't miss the 35th Annual Atlanta International Auto Show, where you can shop and compare from hundreds of new cars, trucks, and SUVs from over 27 major manufacturers in one location. You'll also see debuting models for 2018, the latest in alternative fuel vehicles, and great special attractions. It's only once a year and 5 big days. March 22nd through the 26th, Georgia World Congress Center on Northside Drive.
My mic muted? Yes, all right, we're there. Hey, good morning, we're back. It has been, I can't emphasize, a live show today. Wow, have my spark all ready to go. Sam, I want to tell you, with all the viewers out there, you're driving this ship right through the waters. You've done an outstanding job this morning, Sam has. We get my videos ready and interviews and pictures and stopping the video where it's supposed to go. So technically everything came off like I hoped it would today. Don't forget, before I get into this, don't forget. Now, I will post that video you've seen. I'll post that on YouTube today to where you can watch it over and over and you can see the entire interview, okay? You can see everything. I mean, the city council, I will put that up. You will be able to watch that again. How do I watch that? If you would like to see our segment again this morning, where I broke down the emails, there's others, and the agenda and the attorney's document here from Rhonda Thomas, that we'll have all that together. It'll be on our YouTube channel. So if you ever want to find our show, you can go to fetchernews.com, look in our political section. We will have those there. We're starting to get those back up in there anytime, fetchernews.com, political section. And then also you can find our YouTube channel. It is FYNTV, Fetcher News. That's our YouTube channel. We also run live on Facebook, so find our Fetcher News Facebook page and like that. And then when we go live, it will tell you. If you go to our YouTube channel anytime we're doing a live event, televising anything, you'll get a notification saying we are live. If you're so go and like our channel, like our Facebook page, and never forget, it's really simple. Somebody says, how do I watch that show? Instead of getting into any lengthy detail, FYNTV, just like it says there on the screen, .com. That's simple, FYNTV.com, and you're there. You know, last night, let me say this. Last night, and I think the message, I think it said since 1904, I don't know. But last night, the city of McCaysville, Georgia, voted to, the city of McCaysville, Georgia voted the city council, and they have the right to do that, 3-2, I think it was 3-2, to approve alcohol. Meaning now they can get an alcohol license and I guess pour spirits, you know, the bubbly, have some wine, beer, and have some restaurants there on the river, okay? And when that happened, and I'm not a, you know, let me just clear this up for any of you out there. I'm a teetotaler, and everybody, most people know that, and some people, you know, say stuff to me about being a teetotaler. I've not tasted alcohol since I was 19 years old, not even at a wedding. I don't even, I don't even, you know, partake at a wedding champagne. And people look at me and say, seriously? Yes, I haven't tasted alcohol. Now, I don't want this misunderstood, the direction I'm going, okay? The reason I'm telling you that is I just don't do that, okay? Don't drink, all right? Don't drink, don't smoke, okay? Isn't that what Billy Idol said? Or did I get it wrong? Anyhow, well, I do smoke cheap cigars. Kids, don't try that at home. But I'm going to go this afternoon and have lunch with some friends at a place that's called a tavern. And they're friends of mine, so I'll say it, River Street Tavern. I'm going to go. I go to places that serve alcohol and I have a meal. Friday morning, we do a show every Friday morning from Blue Jeans. Blue Jeans Pizza. Love it. Ken, by the way, love it. Nothing. You know what? My ADD's kicking in. I have a couple minutes here. Lonnie doesn't get there early enough because God knows Lonnie never gets anywhere early enough. But he's not as bad as Katy. We'll throw Katy under the bus real quick, okay? Katy Sissine. But that being said, I'm the first up at Blue Jeans on Friday morning, and I take the key and I open that door, and the first thing I smell is like pizza. Like the night before pizza. Oh, I had to talk about that aroma. Anyhow, we'll be there Friday. But, you know, they serve beer and drinks at lunch and whatever. The point I'm getting at is, you know, I don't think the world will end because McCaysville, Georgia is going to be serving alcohol. But the thing that it kind of caught me, and there was no intention of these messages, but the thing that kind of caught me is the first thing I started seeing when we put on Facebook and the word got out that McCaysville now would be able to have alcohol was the investment. That there were people buying up properties and making big investments. And I would see messages like, wow, there'll be some great investment money come to McCaysville. Great investment money, okay? The investment in McCaysville, the economic boom in McCaysville. I seen all, and that's great, okay? And I thought to myself, you know what? Yeah, people are buying up riverfront property now and going to have restaurants on the river and going to have nice places on the river. And when you get down there with the train, you know, you can get off and get a drink in your meal. And okay, a lot of economic growth. The other side will increase too. Just make sure you understand that. The other side will increase too. Drugs and alcohol will increase too. The other side of that coin will go up along with it. Drunk driving will go up along with it. The odds of somebody maybe getting hit by a drunk driver. Now, I'm not trying to bring everybody down about the investment, but always remember that one side does not go up without the other. So if you're happy today that McCaysville's investment and economic boom in that copper basin area that has struggled for quite some time may have an economic climb, I'm happy. There's odds that I'll probably end up in McCaysville somewhere with some friends having lunch at a place that serves alcohol. Probably will happen. I'll go, right? But always remember, with one thing it goes up, so do the other things. So just prepare yourself, all right? Prepare yourself when the city council says we have to hire 2 more police officers and raise some taxes maybe because we got to buy another police car. Just saying, don't get upset with me. If this goes up, other things go up with it. Just saying. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. I've enjoyed this show. Follow us on Twitter at Fetcher News. Follow us at FYNTV. Call anytime. Hey, call me anytime. 706-889-9700. Just call me. 9700. Chief@FetcherNews.com. The Katy Sissine Show is next. Katy Sissine Show is next. And I want to thank Katy. Katy is setting up all the interviews. She is working the 6th Congressional District. We talk every day about it and lay the game plan out. So Katy Sissine Show is up next. And after Katy Sissine Show is the George, Short Takes with George, his opinion. But I'll tell you what, Katy's next. And I'm out, because I'm through. I just got to admit, it's over for me today. All right? Sam, take us out of here. Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Days ahead.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. And no matter what vehicle you drive, our new state-of-the-art service center can keep you running like new with factory-trained technicians, genuine parts, and value pricing. Even convenient Saturday service hours and online appointments. So if you want to extend the life of your vehicle, let the Days service experts help. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where we service whatever you drive.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hello, welcome to the Katy Sissine Show. I'm your host, as always, Katy Sissine, and happy Wednesday to y'all. We've made it to the middle of the week, and we are going to continue talking about Mr. What's his name? Mr. Wilder? Mr. Geert Wilder, G-E-E-R-T, Geert Wilder. He's seeking to run for Prime Minister of the Netherlands, and he just might win. Now, many have compared Wilder to Trump because of his anti-Islamic stance, you could say, and him wanting to, well, at this point, he wants to purge his country of Muslims, and it does seem very anti-Muslim. Now, Trump banned, he did the Muslim ban, but that was not necessarily a Muslim ban. That was banning people from 7 particular countries that were deemed by the Obama administration to be terrorists. But holistically, if we look at the whole picture, yes, Trump and Wilder do share similar ideals, very similar ideals. And so the Dutch general election is today. It's today, this Wednesday, March 15th, taking place from our time 2:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. So tune into that today and see if Wilders gets the vote, because if he does, then we'll probably be seeing the Netherlands working very closely with the U.S. on policy issues, internationally speaking, in regards to the terrorism due to Muslims and due to the religious war going on in the Islamic world. So now we're going to get into a video where Mr. Wilders it's expressed how he believes that Islam might be dressed up as a religion, but it's actually more of an ideology. So we're going to get into that right now. Here we go.
The Netherlands votes in just over a week. Dutch politicians have intensified their campaign ahead of next Wednesday's general election. 3/4 of voters have yet to decide who to vote for. Conservative Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte's People's Party for Freedom and Democracy is leading the polls.
We are now #1 in the polls, but we still have the Freedom Party just behind us, Geert Wilders. So there's still a big risk that he could come out #1. So I think that would be very bad news. I will fight very hard for my party to get out first.
And that Freedom Party is Geert Wilders' anti-Islam, anti-EU Party for Freedom. It wants to leave the EU and quit the Eurozone. Wilders wants to close borders to all refugees, shut down mosques and ban the Quran.
The Quran really, for instance, if you look at anti-Semitism, has more anti-Semitism in it than, for instance, Mein Kampf, a book of another totalitarian, violent ideology. So I rather would have no Quran at all, as we, in Holland at least, have outlawed Mein Kampf as well. I believe that the Quran and the Islam, more especially, might be dressed up as a religion. It has a holy book, it has a temple, it has imams, but in reality it's not so much a religion, but more an ideology. There are young children in Holland that at the end of the day you want to integrate, get a job, get Dutch friends, have a normal life in Dutch society, should not be able to go to an Islamic school and be grown up and educated with intolerance, with hate, with violence. So I believe that the constitutional rights would not even have to be granted to something that is not a religion but an ideology.
About 5% of the Netherlands population is Muslim. The Dutch were renowned for multicultural tolerance, but immigration has taken center stage in the campaigning.
Personally, I'm not very afraid for myself, but I am afraid for others though, because the hatred he spreads can make people blind and make people not listen to each other, and it divides people.
Many Dutch voters support populism in these times of economic well-being, but an austerity campaign under Rutte hit middle and lower income Dutch much harder than the rich.
My research shows that there is a part of the population who is pessimistic about their financial future. That's about 30–35% of the Dutch population, usually also with lower education, who are favorable for a party like the party of Wilders.
The Dutch election is the first of 3 in the European Union this year. Like in the Netherlands, populist, nationalist and Eurosceptic parties in Germany and France are performing very well in the opinion polls.
So as we can see, these populist parties are gaining prominence, and this party in question is the Dutch Far-Right Party for Freedom, the PVV. And we hear citizens speak out in the video. We heard one woman speak out against touted anti-Muslim Geert Wilders, and she says, that the hatred that he induces is just not good for the people, and she doesn't seem to be in favor. But many people are in favor, And it would not be surprising if Wilders wins this election today, so we will see. Now, let's check out a Google search of Wilders. So, we see the title is How Geert Wilders, the Dutch Trump, Wins Even If He Loses. The supposed anti-Islamic man, Geert Wilders. Now, Geert Wilders is not actually anti-Islamic. People are calling him anti-Islamic. He is anti-terrorist, people. I can't see any evidence that he's anti-Islamic. He hasn't called himself anti-Islamic. But let's check out a quote by Wilders that maybe shows why people think he's anti-Islamic. Okay, he says, everywhere where Islam has gained a foothold, it has brought tremendous human suffering. Geert Wilders. Okay. So, some people may associate him with being anti-Islamic for his quotes and how he said that they're using, that the minority of Islam is using Islam, is saying Islam is a religion in order to protect their religious freedom, but in actuality, they're just an ideology that's committing terror because there's different factions of every religion. And I believe he's referring to radical Islam, but I think what Wilders needs to do is Wilders needs to do a better job at expressing that he's exclusively referring to radical Islam. I think it's his communication that needs editing and not necessarily his method of thought and his ideas for how he wants to run the government. Now, if you have not noticed, I'm checking out the beautiful background behind me. This is the background of Amsterdam, of the Netherlands. So in case you're wondering, this is, the middle of Amsterdam, if you recognize it, if you've been there. I have not been, although I have been around Europe. I do love it and look forward to seeing Amsterdam and Germany and getting into the more eastern side. Furthest east I've gone is Norway, and that was beautiful. So look forward to going back to Europe soon. Now, and I look forward to seeing a Europe that is, with states that are proud of their nationality, with states that are proud to be German, with states that are proud to be Spanish, proud to be French, proud to be Dutch. And that's going to come from having a leader that protects his people. Because when a leader looks out for its people and looks out for its state and wants to protect its families within that state that work so hard to keep it going, then people start to admire that state, and not in a way where they're controlled by the state, but in a way where they feel proud of it. And they continue to be good people because they know that it's not only in their best interest, but the best interest for everyone that they know. And for the whole world, actually. It's almost like a butterfly effect. You do the right thing, and someone else pays it forward. And more people keep doing the right thing. Because that's just how it goes, people. It's, you put out some bad energy into the world. You put out negative energy. You put out negativity. You become a terrorist. You make other people, you give that negativity to other people. And you don't want to give that to the world. See, these politicians that are being called anti-Islamic, they want to do this in the name of love for their country, but they need to find a way to express it so that it doesn't seem like hate. And that's what Wilders needs to do. We'll see if he wins this election today. Remember, stay tuned in. We'll be right back. We're going to get into a new topic for the next segment. You can follow me at Katy FYMTV.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hello, welcome back to the Katy Sissine Show. As always, I'm your host, Katy Sissine. Today, we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. We're talking about Dmitry, I'm not sure how to say his name, Gluhovsky, 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 looks like in English. His book is called Metro 2033, Last Light, and we'll be discussing that in conjunction with the Russian media. So we're going to jump right into a video. Here we go.
This new Russia looks a lot like a totalitarian apocalypse to 37-year-old Dmitry Gluhovsky. The author of the best-selling cult novel Metro 2033, which sold millions of copies worldwide, is an Xbox 360 video game and soon to be a Hollywood movie.
Metro 2033 is exactly a story of World War III. And when I was writing that and composing the story and imagining it, we were quite far from this level of confrontation with the West. Russia was still in the honeymoon with the West. How did it happen that Russia is back on the Soviet track?
We met Dmitry at the launch of his new book, Metro 2035. His fans flooded the Moscow bookstore, hoping to get a glimpse of the brilliant author.
Aren't you afraid that your prediction of the future is more and more becoming true?
I think that the use of a TV for the sake of propaganda has been one of the most outrageous in the modern history and one of the most efficient in modern history.
7 миллиардов ненавидят вас, американцев.
7 billion people hate you, Americans, because you put your troops everywhere. You impose your rotten democracy and your bogus dollars, scaring everyone and bringing the world to the brink of nuclear war.
All the television channels, all the main newspapers, and all the big...
So I didn't want to cut off the guy who had the spiel about hating America because I just want to show, wanted to show that clip. It wasn't necessarily relevant to what we were talking about at the moment, but I thought I would leave the video out to show that clip as well. Now I wanted you to be introduced to the author of Metro 2033, Last Light. Now, Dmitry Gluhovsky, let's just call him Dmitry because I'm not clear on his last name. He's a best-selling Russian author, journalist, author of the best-selling cult novel Metro 33, Last Light, and Metro 35. Metro 2033, it's not Metro 33, it's 2033, is a story of World War III. It depicts a post-apocalypse world, and everyone lives in the metro stations underneath the ground, hiding from the mutants at sea level on the earth or on land where the nuclear war took place. All these mutants left from nuclear warfare. So it's a post-apocalypse world. Metro 2033 sold millions of copies worldwide. It became an Xbox game and movie in development. I want to thank Lonnie on Tech for the extra intel into the book. He has read the book and played the video game. So if you need more intel on it, just ask Lonnie at FYNTV. And you can email him at lonnie@fetchernews.com. So he went on to write 2035, and his appearance at the bookstore that, you know, we just viewed on video was flooded with fans. I mean, people love this story. And Gluhovsky discusses the use of TV for propaganda. He is very into studying conspiracy, as am I. And, you know, I believe it is the groups of media that act purely based on profits, disregarding morale. See, Dmitry, he said that the TV utilizes propaganda, that it's a TV that, you know, is responsible for this propaganda. I just want to point out that it's specific groups of media that are responsible for this propaganda. It's not every station on TV. It's not everyone, you know, that we see on TV. It's not your public broadcasting station. So it's particular companies. So like I said, I believe it's groups of media that act purely based on profits, disregarding morale, not the TV itself. Obviously, now we have TVs that are watching us. So if you remember, if you got a TV with Wi-Fi, it has the capability to record you. And anyway, so this kind of stuff on TV includes TV commercials, shows, news networks, films, particular record labels or production companies, top-down protests, hiring of protesters, etc. Those are all examples of causes of propaganda. Now, we can't just say the TV, we have to specify commercials, shows, networks, record labels that put out music that oftentimes gets put on the TV and commercials, production companies that are owned by certain people with certain beliefs, and top-down protests, Soros hiring protesters to say Trump is not my president. Now, we're going to continue with the video. We're going to start from the very beginning, and it's the video intro with Gluhovsky, Putin, and Trump. So here we go.
America should care what happens in Russia, because Russia has nuclear weapons. You better care.
People do not have any sense of the impending danger. That is what worries me. How come you don't understand that you are dragging the world into a completely new direction?
President Trump is a professed admirer of Russian President Putin. How will this budding bromance play out for U.S.-Russian relations?
Common sense says this cycle, this horrible cycle of hostility, must end and ideally will end soon. Good for both countries. Some say the Russians won't be reasonable. I intend to find out.
So why did I want to delve more into Dmitry here? Well, Dmitry said something at the very beginning of this video that caught my eye and made me want to research into Metro 2033 and Metro 2035, and that was America should care about what happens in Russia. Russia has nuclear weapons. He's right. Russia is a superpower. It's a very powerful country, and America should care about Russia. America should care about establishing amicable relations with Russia. Vladimir Putin says, how come you don't understand that you are dragging the world in a completely new direction? He just said in that intro of the video regarding unwanted change in Russia pushed by the Western world. Now, this was pre-election of Donald Trump. Now, President Donald Trump said, some say Russia won't be reasonable, Trump said. Trump said he intends to find out if they will be reasonable. And thus far, they have been reasonable. And relations have been amicable. Now, the voiceover actor in the video, he referred to Trump and Putin's relationship as a budding bromance. So you can see this is a video by the left. Just by the voiceover, we can tell that the people that took part in making this video are aligned with the left side of the political spectrum. Just by that simple budding bromance term, see, we have to pay attention to these cues and videos to know who the video makers are and what side of the spectrum they come from. Now, even I can be biased sometimes, and I try to pride myself on being central. Yes, I do admit that I side with who I side with because I choose, because I'm not going to just say, oh, I don't know, and leave me out of the race. You know, I'm going to choose a side. But I try to stay as neutral as I can, you know. And calling the relationship between Trump and Putin a budding bromance is a statement that's aligned with someone on the left side of the agenda. So anyway, I guess we know that much about the video. Now, it looks like we got to cut to a break. Now, remember, you can follow me on Twitter at katyfyntv.com.
Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Elegy.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Elegy.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Don't miss the 35th Annual Atlanta International Auto Show, where you can shop and compare from hundreds of new cars, trucks, and SUVs from over 27 major manufacturers in one location. You'll also see debuting models for 2018, the latest in alternative fuel vehicles, and great special attractions. It's only once a year and 5 big days. March 22nd through the 26th, Georgia World Congress Center on Northside Drive.
Well, welcome viewers. This is George McClellan coming to you from FYN TV, North Georgia's only live online internet talk show. And it's a beautiful day outside. I cannot tell you it's cold. It's cold and there's a little threat, cloudy, but hey, it's not icy or snowy, and so we get on with it. So what do we got? We got several things in the news that are important. I ended up yesterday's Tuesday's show talking about a fellow named Harold T. Martin III, 20-year careerist in the intelligence business, who is now under indictment and investigation by the FBI for spying, to use the word, the term. I want to continue that. After I have a few more, give you a few of the headlines that are important. This is things that you need to know. Repealing Obamacare would default in more births, according to the CBO. We'll investigate that later at another time. Steve King ingests the poison of nationalist ideology. That is worth viewing. I'm going to take it up on that. I might even write an article about that. And is this the committee where Obamacare repeal goes to die? And we're facing that right now, and I'm going to talk about that. But first, let me get back to Harold, start off with Harold Martin. Harold Martin is that you have two instances involving contractors which happen to be from the same company, and there should be, they're trying to figure out why Snowden and why Assange gets all this stuff, and now this Harold Martin fellow, who has laid dormant. He was not spotted after years and years, 20 years of working in the intelligence community, and still I don't even really know exactly what it was he stole. Was it more or less worse than what Snowden took? Snowden got right out there and said, I did it, and here it is, and the government is spying on us. Is this guy a whistleblower, or is this guy a Soviet or a foreign agent? Is he just exactly what his position is vis-a-vis hacking our our secrets. Why are people outraged? And I say people, I'm talking about the Intelligence Committee. If they're not doing something illegal, they shouldn't be there anyway, doing what they're doing. But you want Congress to take a look at this latest incident, and I'm sure they will, because it is not necessarily going to dictate when the next incident is going to happen. So what I'm saying is, you look at this incident, you try to figure out why, who, what, where, when, and why, the 5 basic interrogatories of any investigation. And then you stop and say, well, where's it going to go now? Who's next? Well, that's what, that is the field for the trained background investigator. It's a counterintelligence field of some importance, and the trained investigator who knows how to ferret out little tiny details of a person's life should find these things out, or should know them and report them. They don't mean it's bad, it just means it's on record. And the record is there forever. There's a difference between looking at them and putting together legislative solutions that's going to solve the problem that will become law, because the legislative solution is often just a big hammer, and then suddenly we have another regulation or a book full of regulations telling people how to act and behave or how to perform their jobs, particularly in the counterintelligence, counterespionage field. And I've had 20 years there. Not like the CIA, of course. I mean, there are so many different levels of this, but it was still required. It required my special attention, and which I gave, and it was for the Navy, of course. With cases like Harold T. Martin III, the standard practice is for the House Intelligence Committee to look into security practices, and more or less as a general oversight, because the details, they're all there, they're all published, and the people, the military people running that, or the intelligence people running those, should have an IG keeping track of it all the time anyway, and doing follow-up investigations on these people. We have a BI every 10 years. A BI means a backup or a bring up or move forward investigation for the last 10 years of a person's life. That's a very important investigation. Yet, in my experience, many agents just sloughed it off. Well, he's been 10 years and nothing's happened. He must be a good guy. Fill out the blocks, check it off, and be done with it. Court documents suggest that Martin willfully, and there's an important word because it shows intent, retained information pertaining to national security, which includes classified NSA and Cyber Command files. If convicted, he faces a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison for each of the 20 counts of willful retention of national defense information. Well, that's a big hammer they're swinging at this guy. He has no chance. His life is over forever. Subsequent to Martin's arrest, President Obama asked the National Counterintelligence and Security Center to do a study on what happened, and looking for critical infrastructure technology. A cyber security think tank was given the task of seeing what they could discover. The National Counterintelligence Security Center was organized in 2014 within the ODNI, the Office of the Director of the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. His larger framework, so that was come under his umbrella, and it worked to identify counter foreign espionage operations aimed at U.S. agencies and private businesses. I always thought that was the job of the CIA. So bureaucracy, adding bureaucracy on top of bureaucracy actually stymies effective government, effective rulemaking, effectively doing your job. The Martin study cannot be completed until the FBI finishes their investigation. Well, why the FBI, not the CIA? Because now it's a crime. And the CIA does not investigate crimes. It is their job to spy on the other guy. After Snowden, all kinds of programs were put in place to stop not only someone from taking all the things Snowden took, but also to stop the bleeding if he got any good, if he got anything good anyway. Snowden took everything. There's not much left out there for somebody to take. Martin, if it fell into the same hands, his stuff is confirmation of what Snowden stole. And confirmation is what makes intelligence good. Otherwise, it's just fungible. In other words, it's only good for a short length of time, and then the use for it will have disappeared, the need for it. So what was found after making the major study was that you could have the best of all that stuff, but you can't stop someone from walking out of the building with something in his pocket. So what does that tell us? People show up to work in their business suits. Now, next thing, I bet you, they have to go to a changing room and put on coveralls. And there'll be somebody in there to inspect their garments when they leave in the afternoon to go home, to inspect that they have taken nothing out of their workspace. I mean, that's the only way you're going to do it. That is possibly the only way you're going to do it. It remains unclear to what degree the intelligence community has instituted no new protections in the aftermath of Martin. Aftergood said, the guy writing, who was interviewed for this report, said he would expect the NSA, which was Martin's last post, as it was Snowden's, to respond by conducting at minimum a counterintelligence investigation into Martin's contacts, a damage assessment to understand the consequences of the compromised information, and security lessons learned effort to draw appropriate conclusions to stop future threats. The counterintelligence operation should begin the minute that man applies for that security clearance. That's when it starts. It's a damage control after he's already violated his contract, violated his oath, and become a spy. The goal is to stop them before they even decide to do what Snowden and Martin did. That's exactly right. What is the impetus? Why do these people want to do what they did? Well, one time, obviously, if it's younger people, men, it's often sex, girlfriends, wives, unhappy marriages. That is all part of the logical, legitimate part of the counterintelligence investigation. It could be a lack of money. They need money. Their kids are going to school. Their kids are driving them nuts. They need car insurance, house mortgage is failing. Their credit cards are overextended. Money is always a big. So part of the counterintelligence investigation has got to include financial statements from the people who have these top secret clearances, particularly the contractors, and are in these jobs where they handle classified information. We got to know. And it's got to be brutal. And if you want that job, you got to agree to it. You have to agree to it. As simple as that. A way must be found to identify the Martins and the Snowdens ahead of time and say, hey, listen, I know things are rough, you're having problems, but there are other options other than the options of putting your stuff into the Washington Post Dropbox. And let me tell you, occasionally there are the people who subscribe politically to the other guy's ideas and want to help him out. We have that. And we can't forget drugs either. In my time, it was the Snowman, a fellow who compromised one of our greatest satellites to the Russians because he was a cocaine addict. And he was even selling the stuff. I mean, that should be easy. But we assume, it's natural to assume, even in that industry, that, okay, this guy's got a clearance, he must be a good guy. Nice and all that. He's been investigated. It doesn't work. Insider threat detection in the government hasn't been perfected at all. Some agencies are there, and some have a long way to go. My experience was was with the Navy, and in 1972, because the war was on, a lot of GIs and civilians working on military contracts required security investigations, which means they needed clearances. There was so much work that we were years behind in some cases in getting investigations. I was embarrassed one time in Los Angeles, where I first started my career, knocking on the door, asking about some Marine who had a communications occupational specialty. And the lady says, "Oh, what are you talking about? He was killed 2 years ago." Well, yeah, I stand there looking like a damn fool. And there was lots of that going on. There was 50,000 men killed in Vietnam. Not all of them had security clearances, but enough did that you just stand there and look like a damn fool. Some people have been in and gone out of the military, finished their career in a way, and you're standing there trying to interview somebody as a developed informant, a DI, to give them a security clearance. So the machine, even in my time, the machine was wrong. It didn't work right. It wasn't smooth. It was clumsy and awkward. In 1972, they realized that, and the military investigative agencies were relieved of that responsibility in the United States, and the new Defense Investigative Service, the DIS, was created exactly for that purpose. I was never so glad to be rid of something that was like a weight on my back. I mean, you just work long, long hours. I'll tell you what, I never felt like I had to back up to the pay window and I wasn't getting my job done. And anybody who's an investigator in the military, even as a civilian, especially as a civilian, you work your butts off and you work until you get the job done. We got more pay for it, but hey, sometimes your health is more important. Insider detection in the government hasn't been perfected at all, and I'm talking about the 70s. Okay, there are premium requirements for insider threat programs. Now, I don't know what the minimum requirements are. There should be a standard level, period. Everybody meets that. Not everyone in the government has that yet. Well, there are many who don't need top secret security clearances, so you don't give it to them. There's a need to know. And I never hear that word used, rarely that phrase used. He doesn't have a need to know, he doesn't need to go in there. My clearances were top secret SCI, special compartmented, only if I needed to know it. I had the access to do it. The NSCS over the last 2 years has been able to successfully spot federal employees that were exhibiting characteristics typical of a leaker, but why haven't they acted on them? In only 2 years. Maybe this is working in 2 years. Congress was advised in 2015 the NSCS prevented a double-digit number of insider threat cases in the last 2 months alone, and there were 2 major incidences, including one case where a defense contractor leaked 250 gigabytes worth of unclassified document to a foreign military, and it has to be the GRU. It could be nobody else. It's the GRU, unless it was the Israelis. And that's still illegal, although they are our ally. So anyway, that's my concern. I bring that forward because it is a concern to Americans who do not want our military to be compromised and our military efforts to be compromised. I mean, there's a lot of other aspects to it, a lot of facets to it. We don't want to be needlessly involved in wars, but we damn sure don't want to be victims if we send our people in harm's way. Anyway, I'm Ben Signal. It's time for a commercial break, so we'll see you on the other side. I hope you enjoy your pizza.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks. So let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. And no matter what vehicle you drive, our new state-of-the-art service center can keep you running like new with factory-trained technicians, genuine parts, and value pricing. Even convenient Saturday service hours and online appointments. So if you want to extend the life of your vehicle, let the Days service experts help. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where we service whatever you drive.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Well, welcome back. This is George McClellan coming to you from FetcherNews.com, North Georgia's only live online internet show. I was talking about another spy that has surfaced like Snowden in the last segment in this, and I will have more on it later. It's too important not to talk about. But right now there's other things that make the news that are important too. One of them is, if anybody here watches CNN, I don't know many people who watch CNN, but they have a celebrity on there, a nice looking young lady called Rachel Maddow. Now Rachel Maddow tweeted yesterday afternoon that she had Trump's tax returns. Now the left is going crazy, particularly the left media is going crazy over Trump's tax returns. They believe it is their indispensable and absolute right to rip through that tax return and make presentations, false or not, on how criminal Trump has to be because of what they read in these tax returns. Oh, I'll tell you what, this woman, I think Trump was trolling her because the tax return she has and showed on television was a client's copy from 2005, 11 years ago. Can you believe that? 11 years ago, 12 years ago now, and she went on in her hour. Now, I didn't watch it. I admit I didn't watch it, but there was enough blaze on other network sites about that I had to talk about it. What can you say in an hour show about 11 or 12-year-old tax return that was provided you by the person who had it, Donald Trump? So it's an investigation. Interestingly, there was a site that crashed immediately after Maddow mentioned it on her show. Well, anyway, she remains, it's interesting, she ought to be an actress in the movie. She remains scandalized that Trump, while not being legally compelled to do so, did not follow the precedent of decades of presidential candidates and release his tax forms. Well, let me tell you, Donald Trump is a multi-billionaire. He doesn't sit down on his kitchen table with a tax form on his computer and run out in a couple hours a tax. He's got a whole building full of lawyers and tax accountants doing his taxes. And where he figures into it, he uses the law, and he uses the law for his advantage, like anybody can do, including Rachel Maddow, you, me, even Sam. We can use those laws to make deductions properly, legally, and get away with it. It proved, however, even 12 years ago that Trump paid more taxes than the Clinton Foundation. He paid more taxes than just about everybody else. He has not tried to cheat American people out of their rightful due. He's paid his fair share and more. And he gives away so much. He just gives away so much money, and he does so much for other people. Yet this loon, this leftist loon, they cannot get away from these tax releases. And I want to tell you also, it's important to realize that the left that has now lost their both houses of Congress and the presidency are suddenly alarmed because of Trump and the controversies surrounding him, that they are organizing. The ACLU is out busy right now. If you go to peoplepower.org, you'll find out how they are organizing the left to counter everything that Trump does, like the old Tea Party. This will be their version of the Tea Party, and it's coming. It's coming. A bunch of leftist people see America in danger of being forever ruined. So take note of that. Understand that. If you're a Tea Partier and you're watching this, if you're a conservative Republican and you're listening to my words, Trump's victory does not end the game. We won it all. We have it all. And now we still have people in the Congress, Republicans, who are still trying to destroy Trump, and I think Paul Ryan's one of them. And I think Mitch McConnell is another. Those are big government Republicans. They do not want to see Trump's promises enacted, and this Obamacare repeal and replace thing is one of them. I do not understand Donald Trump supporting Ryan's plan, except he's entangling, that he would be entangling Ryan in a web of his own deceit. Because Donald Trump's not going to fall. This thing's not going to pass. It might get through the House with revisions, but the Senate isn't going to pass it at all. They're not going to look at it at all. And now it's being changed from Trump care, even the idea of it's being changed from Trump care to Ryan care. But if it fails, it'll be Trump care. And Ryan, I think Ryan's not the guy for Speaker. I think he's playing a dangerous game because, as we also know, he said that he would never support Trump under any circumstances, not now or in the future. And that was back in October when he said that. So we have these countervening ideas out here. What is Paul Ryan's real mission? What is his real intent? It's big government. He's paid by lobbyists to do these things. And the one world government people, or the big government people, the big bankers, don't want to lose their sinecures. They do not want to go the way that Trump is threatening to take them. They think of themselves, they're not thinking of the American people. Big government now has its own entity, and it's big business, and I mean really big business. So we'll see where that goes. There's a site, if you just Google Paul Ryan to sabotage Trump in 2020. It was an article written back in October, I think. These are pretty big signs. It might have been true because of what's happening now. One thing we know for sure is that Donald Trump will not accept the blame for this major movement in repealing and replacing Obamacare. Someone will be hung out to dry for it. Who's left? It's got to be Paul Ryan. It's got to be Paul Ryan. The Republicans own this mess they're in because what they have offered is not what they promised. What they promised comported with what Trump promised in the campaign. Trump's still promising that in the campaign. But now we have these people who have this tax. They added all these other little things. They want to protect They want to protect Obamacare. That's the goal. Why? Because the little guy down here gets his free insurance, and they think they're going to vote for Republicans. It ain't going to happen. Never. Not with the ACLU out organizing the left. Next year is going to be a big contest. It's going to be an important year, and we cannot let go. You can call it a problem of messaging, a problem of sales technique, budget policy, or a simple problem of potentially a million fewer people with insurance than there would otherwise be. How would they otherwise be? Because they were told they had to buy insurance or they would be fined. And that's government selling a product. We've never known that before until Obamacare. That's got to go. But the GOP now will own it. It will own it in every case. So we simply have got to make sure that this bill is acceptable to the Democrats, acceptable to the Republicans in our Congress, particularly the Freedom Caucus, and of course then we have the Republicans in the Senate who don't really like it. I think well, anyway, it's a political crisis of our own making. We cannot get along. No one expected Donald Trump to win the election as president. And here now they are faced with a conundrum that they did not anticipate. Here we've got a man who made promises, who is the president of the United States, and now you have all these hundreds of other thoughts in the Congress of how it should really be done. And at one point, and I'll tell you, they should never underestimate Donald Trump. Donald Trump's not a fool. He's definitely not a fool. He knows exactly what's going to happen. He knows what's going on, and he knows how it's going to end. And he's not going to fall. He's never fallen. He's not going to fall now. So they got to get used to that. And remember, originally, Paul Ryan did not want the job of Speaker. He begged off of it several times before they finally twisted his arm. Oh, stopped paid, and he took the job. But now, I think he's the wrong man in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong plan. They've just got to, if they want to keep the base and they want to keep the Tea Party, and remember, it's individual members who have got to convince the Tea Party constituency in their districts that they're the man for their job. That's where the politics are. It's all local. They've got to convince us out here on the ground that they are worthy of the job they've got. There's no reason to stay there and take all that heat for the entire GOP dividing the party along Obamacare lines, failure to repeal, and let the Democrats enter that division and reassert control again. And that's what's going to happen. The Democrats are going to sweep in here. This 6th district race for Tom Price's replacement is very, very interesting. And the Democrats are making a good bid to try to get it. And they want to get in there and make it happen. So do we imagine it's going to get better when phase 2 or phase 3 don't really materialize in this Paul Ryan plan? I think not. I think we're facing a crisis in our government right now, and it's a GOP crisis of their own making, and they better figure out who's leading this parade, because it's Donald Trump. It's Donald Trump. And Paul Ryan might find himself very soon out of a job. It could be. Anyway, we got time for some more commercials from our sponsors is the word. My goodness, I get so many words. It has something to do with my birth certificate, I think. But anyway, we'll see you on the other side.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Don't miss the 35th Annual Atlanta International Auto Show, where you can shop and compare from hundreds of new cars, trucks, and SUVs from over 27 major manufacturers in one location. You'll also see debuting models for 2018, the latest in alternative fuel vehicles, and great special attractions. It's only once a year and 5 big days. March 22nd through the 26th, Georgia World Congress Center on Northside Drive.
Well, welcome back, fun lovers. This is George McClellan coming to you from FetcherNews.com TV in LJ, Georgia. Weather's cold, no rain, but it's winter's not quite over, but it's telling us that it is. Now I spent part of Tuesday talking about a spy, or at least a defense contractor who was arrested and found with thousands of classified documents. And then we talked a little bit more about it this morning. That was Harold T. Wilson. And so I'm going to finish up with some thoughts on the spy business, the intelligence business. And I say spy, I don't mean James Bond, that kind of stuff, but I'm talking about the tradecraft and what the DOD, the Department of Defense, the DIA, what the leaders do, and what they have said to congressional committees on tradecraft. It was a field that I'm very well acquainted with, being in it myself. A recent DOD Inspector General report said there is no evidence that the leadership in the U.S. Central Command, and they are headquartered in MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa, Florida. I have a source down there as well. Manipulated intelligence products to create a false narrative of success in the battle against Daesh, ISIS, if you will. Daesh is the word that John Kerry liked to use because it gives them legitimacy. ISIS is exactly who they are, the Islamic State. A nearly two-year-long investigation did reveal problems with poor leadership, improper communication, and insufficient training in intelligence tradecraft standards. Now, my source at MacDill, I will confirm, was not there in the last 2 years. He was in Saudi Arabia and in Oman and in the United Arab Republics. Tradecraft standards. Now, what tradecraft is how the methods and methodology of obtaining classified information or identifying people who are trying to obtain our classified information. It's called tradecraft, simple as that. The word is expansive and covers a lot of things. And the standards serve as a common foundation for assessment criteria, ethic for analytical rigor, and personal integrity in analytic practices across the intelligence community. We have violations of these things. We see it all the time when the President of the United States says his tower has been tapped. And we see WikiLeaks exposures of classified documents. And we see Snowden doing his dump. So we know that integrity, personal and professional, has collapsed. These people should have been discovered long before, and Harold Martin as well, should have been discovered long before they ever had a chance to do anything. So it means that the background investigations, for example, on these people missed some little tiny thing, and I'm not saying that they came to the organizations already bereft of integrity, or that they came to these organizations because they intended to spy, but they came to these organizations with a mindset that allowed them to think that they can do these things. And once the damage is done, it's too late. And these people are products of our educational system and probably brainwashed from middle school, high school, into college, into thinking a certain way, and they see how intelligence is used, and they think, well, that's wrong, I got to do something about it, and they become martyrs to the cause, their cause, not America's. And that's a way of thinking that we have to change. But anyway, the standards promote protection of privacy and civil rights by ensuring objectivity, timeliness, relevance, and accuracy of sensitive information used in analytic products. Okay, so a guy comes, he's hired, he passes his background investigation, he has a top secret interim security clearance, and it takes 6 months or a year before that interim clearance becomes full. But he's to suddenly start to realize that, hey, we got a bunch of corrupt criminals running our government. Look at this. We can't do this, and they can't do that. And let me tell you, if they were whistleblowers, they would change. But whistleblowers is an endangered species. Those people don't last long. Some of them, like that young fellow who worked for the Clinton campaign for the DNC, was murdered on his doorstep after the DNC leaks were made public. Where'd that come from? Well, they suspected he had something to do with it. Next thing you know, he's dead on the street. He wasn't robbed. Failure to uphold these standards can lead to a breakdown of trust. And it says here it did in the Central Command. And I'm not quite sure who they picked, but it had to be somebody with a top secret security clearance, because that's just about all you can have down there. The House Armed Services Committee's Oversight and Investigation Subcommittee held a hearing on February 28th to discuss the report's findings and recommendations with DOD leadership. Who is DOD leadership? Well, it's changed. Now it's in Trump's hands, and now we will see where this goes. Witnesses included Glenn Fine, Acting Inspector General for the DOD, Air Force Major General James Mars, Director of Intelligence for the Joint Staff, Jacques Grimes, Director of Defense Analysis in the Office of the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence. Look, some of these acronyms will drive you crazy. By the time you get through them, you forgot what you was reading or why. Army Major General Mark Quantock, Director of Intelligence for CENTCOM. In their joint statement for the record, they said DOD has, and this was a joint statement, they agreed on this one, already taken a number of policy, governance, and oversight steps over the past several years to create a stronger foundation for objective, high-quality defense intelligence analysis. Many of these efforts, they said, predate the DOD IG investigation. Nonsense. These people don't work that way. They don't look in advance. They make policy and they expect other people under them to carry them out. I don't think any of these people here, these generals or civilians, high-ranking civilians, they're not guilty of anything except not doing their job. And not doing the job is making sure that the people under them are doing their job. Doing their job. That's the important thing. These policies and standards make up the intelligence tradecraft. Policy and standards. Well, who changes policy and standards? Obama did. He changed the rules of conflict, the rules of engagement as an example. That's a minor example, but when you make Islamophobia a crime to talk about it, and racism a crime to talk about it and bring it to the attention of planners, then you have changed the standards and policies that make up intelligence tradecraft. The Defense Intelligence Agency, the DIA, is responsible for establishing and maintaining tradecraft through training, education, and certification programs for Department of Defense analysts. DIA's Director of Analysis, Neil Wiley, discussed some of their ongoing efforts at a hearing on Tuesday's hearing. Now, if you want a further explanation of that, you can read it in the Washington Examiner, dated 1 March of this month, just 15 days ago. So we, excuse me, the Trump administration is looking into, seriously looking into where these leaks are coming from. And they're coming from a lot of sources. I cannot believe or accept that there are military generals at this high level or civilians at this high level who are so totally liberal that they're nearly communist. Maybe, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Now, you bring all that, this came up in the Washington Examiner and in one or two other sources that I have, and it falls into the hands of the media. And what does the media do with it? Well, they lie about it if it serves their purpose. Mainstream media, I now choose to call them the mediocre media because they don't talk about things that are important or ongoing. Did you know, yesterday, CNN was part of one of the groups filming Donald Trump talking with victims of Obamacare. The first lady up, that Donald Trump invited to give her testimony, if you will, she went on about how Obamacare ruined her business. She was a cattlewoman. Her and her husband owned a cattle ranch. And they damn near went bankrupt because they could not afford Obamacare, so they had to give it up. She was a victim. That was the only story that CNN covered because they didn't know it was coming and they couldn't just cut away. So they waited till it was over, but they did not listen to anybody else. And there were 4 or 5 other victims of Obamacare there. Now, other stations covered it. Fox, I believe, stayed the course. But CNN, the Clinton News Network, or the Commie News Network, as I like to call it, didn't. The free press guarantees a free country, or should. Take it away, and we, as citizens, lose our voice. We lose our ability to function in a free society. We don't have a free society. We have to fight very hard now to maintain and overcome the shackles that have been thrown on us because news outlets won't record and produce what we say. They pick and choose who's going to be what. And that woman Mika Brzezinski on Morning Joe, MSNBC, she said it's the media's job to tell Americans how to think. She said that. She said that. And I read it yesterday in one of my essays. George Washington put it very nicely. He said that government is not reason, and I'm quoting George Washington, government is not reason, it is not eloquence, government is force. Government is like fire. It's a dangerous servant. And yes, we're going to get our fingers burned. We see it now in the Congress over this Obamacare thing. Unfortunately, today in America, our free press may be considered slanted, aristocratic, and I don't see how. Well, yes, I do. When they get their nose bent because Trump doesn't invite them into the White House press room, or they get their nose bent because he allows a wire service, an internet service, to ask questions at a press conference, they think they're aristocratic. They're biased and prejudiced against bringing the universal facts to the American people. Yes, we have a problem with the fourth estate. They are corrupt. They are corrupt. Can we bring it back? If you have any ideas at how we can bring it back, I invite you to send those ideas to me, George, at fetchernews.com, and let's have a look at them. Let's see what they're saying. Because I'm not the only one out here talking about it. I've been to 2 Tea Party meetings recently, and they're talking about it. They're talking about it. Because Trump won the election against insurmountable, apparently overwhelming odds, and he won the election, the Tea Partiers and conservatives are finally thinking, oh, we finally arrived, we got it safe, and there's nothing more for us to do. Nonsense. We've got to stay involved. That's what we've got to do. As a citizen journalist who lives at the ground level of America, who has been a math science teacher, an 18-wheeler long hauler trucker in the summers, a bartender, a heavy equipment safety officer, a volunteer instructor for the handicap, and a pool cleaner, the guy who wrote this. I see the MSN, the mediocre media, manipulating the public sway by reporting stories they deem in their own best interests and not in favor of the American people. That's from a guy who's a journalist himself. So we know we have a voice. We just don't get, it's just not heard. We just don't get it heard. The press, you remember CNN, NPR, NBC, ABC, CBS. You remember when Brexit vote succeeded? They deflected the real reason why Brexit citizens, why the British citizens voted to reject the European Union. And it's because the endless third world immigration is displacing British language, British culture, British heritage, and British history. And that's why they voted Brexit. We're going to see civil wars breaking out in these countries. And right now it's just one-sided. It's Muslims attacking women, children, blowing up buildings, killing people in restaurants, attacking Jewish newspapers. That's only one way. One day it's going to change. One day it's going to change. Another item that hit the press the other day is ghost ships. Have you heard of ghost ships? How many times have you read about ghost ships in the press? I'll tell you what it is. It's cargo vessels sailing around Europe, coming out of the Mediterranean, up towards England or European ports, suddenly turning off their transponders, and they become invisible to the Treaty of the Law of the Sea that commands that they be known at all times and all places. And why do they do this? Because they do not want to be seen electronically by the government going into a port where they unload we don't know what. I suspect in Britain it's arms, ammunition, explosives, because they're getting prepared for a war. And Britain has disarmed its citizens. The Muslims are not disarming themselves. They're loading up. They're loading up. They know there's going to be a war. They want to be on the winning side of it. So that's what the ghost ship is. Look it up. Just go to Google and type in ghost ship and see what reports you come up with it as a tag. The mainstream media's easy corruption spreads across 3 decades in a dance that appears to cajole the American people into accepting senseless and endless immigration, as if it's our responsibility to save the rest of the world and their desperate masses from their own problems. It remains mathematically impossible to do that. The MSN reports on mind-numbing violence from demonstrators who claim racism. The MSN reports on total appeasement of illegal immigration into the tens of millions, but it never reports on our own citizens' desperate situations, the entrenched poverty of our own minorities, the inner-city blacks, Mexicans. How many Americans understand that we fail to deal with or solve the desperate conditions of 60,000 homeless veterans? 1.5 million dispossessed Americans. Dispossessed, why? Because they couldn't afford the mortgages on their house because Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac went bankrupt. 13 million American children now living under the poverty line, and 350,000 illegal anchor babies annually that we pay for with our tax dollars. What is wrong with this picture? The politicians are doing nothing with it. It is not inequity at the least, or insanity at the most, that 48 million Americans subsist on food stamps. Who would ever have thought that? And now we face a $19.5 trillion national debt. Where do you think that came from? It comes from progressives, from Democrats, liberal communist political philosophies who have changed our nation. And we've got to change it back. The mediocre media muffles any reports on the infrastructure failings across this country. Instead, the media focuses on the Russians hacking our voting system, which proved inconsequential to the vote if they did. In fact, American citizens pulled the lever for Trump because they sickened of the endless degradation of their country via Barack Obama's policies now are treason, outright treason against the United States and our Constitution. They revolted at the United Nations, forcing Syrian refugees upon us. And that's the end of my time, and I will see you Thursday morning. Thanks for watching. This is George, coming to you from FetchYourNews.com TV, North Georgia's only online internet talk show. So I'm done. You can take
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Don't miss the 35th Annual Atlanta International Auto Show, where you can shop and compare from hundreds of new cars, trucks, and SUVs from over 27 major manufacturers in one location. You'll also see debuting models for 2018, the latest in alternative fuel vehicles, and great special attractions. It's only once a year and 5 big days, March 22nd through the 26th, Georgia World Congress Center on Northside Drive.